know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fence for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. My intuition told me this. To trust the coach, he holds the gift. He knowing when to go with fits. So we knowing when to switch. This year we got the golden pick. Time to see what that pick about. Bad vibes get sent out. Only fans up in this house. We been waiting, yeah, we been patient. Now it's time to cash out, no discount. Super Bowl, yeah, we en route. I don't know when, but it's close. I don't wanna overhype, but I just know I like it. So excited, you gon' know this now. You should know the rise. They say Tua from that rock. Shout out to some more, and now it's time to lay the smack down. You think you Dwayne Johnson? Time to be the people's champ. Hit them with the people's elbows, stick together like it's Velcro. You think you could stop us? Hell no, all day I dream about sports. I think I need some shadows. Custom with some Dolphins colors, just to let them know we here. Yeah, I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fence for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time.
To a time, to a time. Really hope he the man. Hope we found us a gem. Like the Heat found Bam. Wanna take time to thank Fitz, cause he put on the show. But the young man up, in the whole city know. Time to catch all the blessings. Cash out on the vest. Ball out, don't choke. Fins want all the smoke. Chris Gregg gave hope. Coach flow like spoke. Dan Marino still a GOAT. But to a man on go. Watch to a man throw. Watch to a man scope. Watch to a man dishes that we never ever seen before. Fans up, let's win. Boy, I'm ready for a ring. Maybe 3, 4, 5, 6. It's damn week, use 10.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fence for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time.
So low, so low, so low deep. So low, so low, so low deep.
Man, y'all were part of the Buffet Boys. Shout out Solo D. Shout out to DWA. Let's eat.
Yo, Solo! You know they been saying you gotta make a hit squad part 2. But you know, man, we hungry this time, man. We gotta eat this time. Yeah. Back in the beast mode. AFC was trying to rap up the East Coast. Take shots, fall back, then reload. Get the powder time to slap up these foes. Anytime we hit the field, then we must play. And these boys run hard, man, I must say. Try to stay on one route like the busway. Trying to eat teams up like a buffet. Eat the offense like a buffet. Eat the quarterback like a buffet. Eat the running back like a buffet. Eat the wide receiver like a buffet. Eat the O-line like a buffet. Eat the coach up like a buffet. Eat the fan base like a buffet. Stay on one route like the busway. I say and not quote. Go hard or go home is the motto. A pick or a sack is the lotto. Let's cook them like Emerald Lagasso. My bad, Lagasse. He going south, that is not me. Hungry for greatness, so I eat. Stay in my zone like a Bob E. Jumping off the edge like E and Shaq. Straight pressure, never even back. Protection on the way you gon' get wins. Split through the middle like Wilkins. Got some backers on the back that's gon' back me up. Straight action, we be acting up. Tell Coach Job his best plan, but it still get snatched by X-Man. Cause we back in the beast mode. AFC was trying to rap up the East Coast. Take shots, fall back, then reload. Get the powder time to slap up these foes. Anytime we hit the field, then we must play. And these boys run hard, man, I must say. Try to stay on one route like the busway. Trying to eat teams up like a buffet. Eat the offense like a buffet. Eat the quarterback like a buffet. Eat the running back like a buffet. Eat the wide receiver like a buffet. Eat the O-line like a buffet. Eat the coach up like a buffet. Eat the fan base like a buffet. Eat like a buffet.
Eating like a buffet, it be a long day. We ain't gon' play. Yeah, them boys green, no subway. Pick the ball off X and DJ. I don't care about what he and she say. That's nonsense. Check the replay. I work overnight and it's early morning, but I'm turned up cause it's game day. They don't really want it with your boy. O-line really get destroyed. Ex-Patriot, Cal Van Noy. Put him on his butt, hurt everyone. What's a grown man to a boy? Jam him at the line, dare you to throw Disciplined coach Brian Flores, never getting rattled to the boys. Fans better pay attention, even social distance. I got a witness and you know we blitzing, but mind your business. Christian Wilkins on a lot of scrimmage, far from timid, pushing to the limit, revving engine. You know we gotta get it, Nick Needle. You know we gonna pick it, Van Ginkle, take it to the distance. Fans up till my life is finished. Say it with my chest cause I meant it. A lie, no why, I admit it. New era, yeah, our division. A win streak, we just keep on winning. So I lose, tell them suck the limit. Bills with the Jets in New England. Miami top dogs where you hear me.
Back in the beast mode. AFC was trying to wrap up the East Coast. Take shots, fall back, then reload. Get the powder time to slap up these foes. Anytime we hit the field, then we must play. And these boys going hard, man, I must say. Try to stay on one route like the busway. Trying to eat teams up like a buffet. Buffet. Eat the offense like a buffet. Eat the quarterback like a buffet. Eat the running back like a buffet. Eat the wide receiver like a buffet. Eat the whole line like a buffet. Eat the coach up like a buffet. Eat the fan base like a buffet. Stand one route like the busway.
So low, so low, so low, deep. So low, so low, so low, deep.
Kang gang, 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 Kang gang. You see him in orange and green? That's Kang gang. You ready for Storm 18? That's Kang gang. Kang gang, 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 Kang gang. You see him in orange and green? That's Kang gang. That's Kang gang. You ready for Storm 18? That's Kang gang. That's Kang gang. That's Kang gang. Reps since a juvenile, I be where they throwing up using crowds. You know how that school get down. Not taking no L's, we ain't losing now. Don't get it confused right now. I represent making these music sounds. They play me when they study in their dorm room. Request me an Uber now. I be screaming Kang gang. Across the world, they be screaming out the same thing. We first to arrive and last to leave. We filling the sense of capacity. You know I won't change while you asking me. Be throwing this you to the casket deep. Be all on the field like Sebastian B. Rockin' Kings well, I'm a fashion freak. Look, I be staying live on pipe down. Ask down life, it's a lifestyle. And like the mother schools, don't confuse us. We the only ones that really throw the you up. But Kings fam turned up where you find me. Hit hard like I seen it go to Shanti. Try to reach them any D, they remind me that them Kings right back in their prime. Screaming out, Kang gang, Kang gang, Kang gang, Kang gang, Kang gang, Kang gang, Kang gang. You see him in orange and green? That's Kang gang. You ready for Storm 18? That's Kang gang. Kang gang, 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 Kang gang. You see him in orange and green? That's Kang gang. That's Kang gang. You ready for Storm 18? That's Kang gang. That's Kang gang. That's Kang gang.
So low, so low, so low, deep. So low, so low, so low, deep.
Over here. Get some canes over here. We got some canes over here. There go some canes over relax here. And take notes while I step in. Ain't no question. I've been repping. See my squad ballin', that's a blessing. I'm texting with my homies from that West End Zone crew. Say they taking shots, told me roll through. I told you about that orange and green. We click tight, big bites, we destroy your team. Make the world view our games like a horror scene. Stuff opponents in a can like Goya beans. I mean, representing for the team. Love to sit it up. You can't get connected with them. Check your figure note. Infamous with that swag, it's original. The copycats could copy that, but we go get some more. No gate, no Seminole. We let it stay, but in the state we is the general. Coral gave us around the world, we don't have a limit. We rep that youth from the streets to the academics. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Throwing U's up. How we do our thing over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here, throwing U's up. How we do our thing over here.
Who we do please is the hurricane. You ain't got that work, you can't serve the canes. I know you been watching, we been hurting things. Where that crime at, homie, we them dirty canes. We gon' get that title, what that purdy rain. Gotta turn over chain for every team. Green and orange on my back, get a foreigner's back. I'm scoring while you roaring like a lion getting shot. ¿Qué pasó, papi? Tú no puedes conmigo. Argentino de principio, huracán en mi equipo. Got the passion like Sebastian when I'm rapping, that's a fact. Got that 7-6 jersey for the legend, one sack, yeah.
You, it's some canes over here. You, it's some canes over here. You, it's some canes over here, throwing U's up. How we do our thing over here. You, it's some canes over here. You, it's some canes over here. You, it's some canes over here, throwing U's up. How we do our thing over here.
We got some canes over here and we bout that. Solo D and the ballin' boys, yo, we got that. No good chillin' in the cut, hard rock pack. And if you hating on them canes, better stack. It's the state of the MIA. The U is back, what them haters gotta say. Them hurricanes, we be ballin' all day. Turnover chain, got the people going crazy.
Yeah, now whoop whoop, it's the sound, so you know who it is. They counting finals rolling like the U up in here. Gold teeth, grillin', chillin', Solo D, what it is. We got the turn up chain, gang up in here. Cause it's a UM thing, orange and green is the gear. We coming to you HD, so it's crispy clear. Now put them U's in the sky, don't stand and chill, and let them know if they don't know we got some canes up in here.
You, it's some canes over here. You, it's some canes over here. You, it's some canes over here, throwing U's up. How we do our thing over here. You, it's some canes over here. You, it's some canes over here. You, it's some canes over here, throwing U's up. How we do our thing over here.
Canes, we be ballin' all day. Canes, we be ballin' all day. Canes, we be ballin' all day. Them hurricanes, we be ballin' all day.
Who that? So low, so low, so low, G. So low, so low, so low, G.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the number one Miami fan morning show. I am your host, Stephen D, and I'm super excited to be here with y'all because you know what time it is? All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am your host, Stephen D. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am super excited to be here with y'all today. It's wonderful this morning. It's Friday morning. We're here. We're about to have a good time. I don't know what time it is, what part of the country where y'all from, but right now it's Miami Sports Music Clap Blockers time. Number one Miami fan morning show. We got a great show lined up for you this morning. And why is that? Because I'm representing Team Dirty in the building today. I'm super excited for my guest that I have on. He's got a pretty cool shirt on too, so I'm excited to bring him in. We got him all morning, so my guest this morning is coming in all morning. So without further ado, from East 32 himself, the man, the myth, the legend, none other than Mr. Cameron Scott. What's going on, Cameron?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Clock Blockers, and good morning, Steven. How you doing today?
What's going on, buddy? I'm glad that you're here, man. What's going on?
Repping East 32. Glad to be here. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday to you, man. I am super excited that you're on the show this morning. Thank you for coming out. For those of you who don't know, if you've ever been to a Miami Hurricanes game or you ever been to a Miami Dolphins game, this gentleman here runs the number one tailgate. No disrespect to any of the other tailgates, but this man right here, East 32, the number one tailgate in Hard Rock Stadium. Dude, I'm excited that you're on this morning, and I can't wait for us to kind of talk about the tailgates that you got planned. A little bit of a preview of what you got planned coming up this year. I know you can't give everything away just yet.
Hey, we're still formulating some big plans, bigger and better every year. We're building something special, and we got a lot of cool things to discuss and announce later, probably in a couple months.
Well, I am super excited about that, and you know what else I'm super excited about last night?
Panthers, Marlins.
Man, don't you know it, man? These guys right here. These guys right here won last night, 6-5, man. I'm super excited about last night's win, man. The reason that I wanted to start with them first is because, hey, look, they looked really, really good last night. And I'll be perfectly honest, I doubted them. I didn't think that they were going to go into Tampa and do what they did last night. I mean, they just looked so good against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay was not able to contain them. Now, look, the glaring weakness was there, the goalie, right? It's not like they won in shutout fashion. They gave up 5 goals, but hey, you know what good teams find to do? Good teams find a way to win on the road. So it was good. It was good. What were your thoughts about last night's game?
Hey, listen, the Tampa Bay Lightning are the defending Stanley Cup champions. If you want to, be the champion, you got to beat the champion. And certainly the last 2 games of the regular season, the Panthers kind of took the Lightning to the woodshed, but the playoffs are a whole new game. And the Lightning are definitely defending champs and are showing why. Vasilevsky is by far the best goalie in the NHL, and they have the number 1 power play in the NHL. But you know what? The Panthers are hot, playing strong. And old Bobrovsky, whatever his name is, came in from the Panthers. Cannot pronounce it right, Ben, but he saved the day. And you know what? To be honest with you, the Panthers have 2 number 1 goalies. Drieger's been great all season as well. But you play whoever has the hot hand. And certainly Bobrovsky shut down the Lightning and their power play. And, man, it's going to be a fun series. I'm glad they won that and took it to Game 4 here.
There were 9 shot attempts and 9 saves for Bobrovsky yesterday. And then, obviously, Drieger gave up the 5 goals. So, when Bobrovsky came in, it just gave the team a totally different I don't even know what to call it because, I've been trying to tell people that don't watch hockey, and there's a lot of people in here that don't. That are big Dolphins fans or big Heat fans, and that's fine. But I try to tell people, playoff hockey, there's nothing like it. And if you can get that extra edge late in a game like they did last night, I mean, that's huge.
Nothing better than playoff hockey. It's the most exciting playoffs, I think, in any of the major sports. And, we should talk about Ryan Lomberg. The guy didn't have a shot on goal the whole playoff series and had his 1 chance and made it count for the game winner in overtime.
Oh my God, dude. It was, if you didn't get a chance to watch the game, you have to go back and replay it because, I mean, it was pretty awesome. And the last thing I want to say is, to kind of talk about real quick is just them winning on the road in Tampa. I mean, look, so, we do a show with Onside Radio, and every day on Onside Radio, all the shows, all the live shows there have a roundtable topic discussion. And so the roundtable topic discussion yesterday on there was, what happens next year between the pipes. And, my thought of it was, especially if they get blown out in Game 3, my thought of it was there was no way they're going to survive Game 3. They got shut out at home twice in Game 1 and Game 2. How are they ever going to beat the defending champions in Tampa on the road? And they're not playing good hockey. So this was very surprising to me. Why shouldn't I have been surprised?
Because there's Coach Q, and he's been the difference maker all year. He's brought this team together. He's made them a playoff contender. They have, bona fide stars on this team. The defense is excellent, and they go 4 lines deep, as illustrated by Lomberg. I mean, he was a late season pickup, I believe, through a trade, placed on the 3rd and 4th line, and he skated hard and got his chance and capitalized. That's what good teams do, Steve.
Good teams find a way to win. I say that all the time in football, and especially with the Dolphins, which we're going to talk a lot about later on in the show. So I'm pretty excited about that. Hey, look, while you guys are watching, I need you guys to go do something. And I need my we actually have a new member that signed up for the channel this morning. That is super, super exciting. Let me go up and Furious became a new Miami Sports Music YouTube member this morning. Shout out to Furious. Everybody give Furious a big round of applause because I am super excited to have a new member of the family, man. Chef Zhu, always in the morning, always here in the morning, every single day. Definitely always giving a good shout out to everybody. But I need all my members to tell all these people in the chat room what they need to do when they come onto the channel. And I'm going to tell them right now, just so that they don't remember or they don't forget, you need to hit that like button when you come into the room, right? I need you to hit that like button. And when you hit that like button, I got 12 likes. I got 16 people watching right now. I need 4 more likes. There needs to be just as many likes as people watching. And by the way, I need more than 16 people. So I need you guys to share this stream this morning. It's Friday morning after a playoff hockey win, after a Marlins win, which we're going to get to here in a second. I need you guys to share. Let's go, guys. You guys are the number one fans on the number one fan morning show. Clock Blockers right here on Miami Sports Music. Look, let me talk to you about something. So, you're looking around at all this, and let's kind of switch gears into the Florida Marlins, because the Florida Marlins won last night, and they won 6-0 in Philly. But that's not even where the story starts. Honestly, the story starts with this. Pitcher last night. 6 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts, no earned runs, and that was for Sandy Alcantara. Look, hey, when you have good pitching who can get deep into ball games, you can start winning some ball games, and it makes a huge difference. What were your thoughts on the game last night and the pitching performance?
Listen, Sandy is continuing his evolution as a number one starter in this league, and he proved it last night. I mean, he was truly dominant. He was throwing some wiffle balls out there, illustrated with his 9 strikes, and he made some very good hitters look funny.
Yes, he did. He did.
Chase Hoskins is a legitimate hitter, and he was just all over the place with his swings last night. And it was great to see. And listen, the Marlins have been treading water. They've endured some really devastating injuries over the last month, and they're only 2 games behind, for first place. So I like where the Marlins are going. They found another legitimate ace in Trevor Rogers, who, if you don't know, this guy's must watch TV when he's on the mound. He's a left-hander, comes from New Mexico. He was drafted a few years ago, brought up late last year, and he's been nothing but truly dominant this year for the Marlins. So behind,
and Cody Petit too has been a breath of fresh air. The rookie pitcher, he's had 2 good quality starts.
Good quality starts. Potit's always shined in AAA, AA, and he had his chance a couple starts ago and did really well. Got another chance this past Saturday, did well, and it just goes to show the Marlins' depth. And that I was talking to some Marlins folks that really know the organization, and it's about time. These guys, Jeter and company, have built a really strong farm system. It wasn't popular right off the bat, trading all the stars, but they did it for a reason. You're starting to see that talent come up to the major league level. And Trevor Rogers, Cody Petit, they're prime examples of that. And I say by midsummer, you're going to see some hitters now. Jesus Sanchez is definitely one to keep an eye on.
All right. Well, and I think that the Miami Marlins. I still always want to say Florida. The Miami Marlins have something to work with here. And look, the NL East is always kind of sketchy, right? Like, you don't know what Atlanta's going to do, because it's not like Atlanta has bad teams, but they just don't always show up every year. And the same thing with Philly. And then obviously the Mets, toss of a coin if they're going to be good from year in to year out. And most times they're bad. So it's not like the Marlins play in a horrible division or a division that's super, I don't want to say dominant, but it is always competitive. Would you agree with that statement?
I'd say this year more than the past few years, and I'd say for a few different reasons. Number one, the Mets, new ownership group, injected some salary cap rejuvenation with some money in there. Brought in Lindor and some couple other players. They've been playing out of their minds through all year. And I'm not a Mets fan at all. Can't stand the Mets. But you got Harper in the division. You got the Washington Nationals, who won a World Series. And the Braves. You mentioned the Braves, but the Braves are kind of the legitimate number one team in the East and have been for like 2 or 3 years now. But you know what? The Marlins are coming on. They're coming on strong, and you're going to see the Marlins make deep playoff runs here by 2022-23. And I bet they'll be in contention in August, September this year.
All right. Well, we're going to stay on the baseball theme just for a little bit. There's two more stories I kind of want to talk about. I just want to make sure everybody who's watching right now hits that like button. Hey, Cameron, what do I need those people to do when they come into the room?
Hit the like button and subscribe, buddy.
I like it. That's what I need you guys to do, man. Hey, so MLB has, they try to do, we could do a whole show on how MLB drops the ball on marketing, right? But we're not going to go there this morning because I don't want to get frustrated this early in the morning, okay? But one of the things that they have done correctly is these MLB City Connect jerseys. And I held on to this story to talk about it with you today because I knew you were coming on. And I also know you have a pretty cool clothing line in Team Dirty, right? Dirty Sportswear. And we'll get to that a little bit later. But man, these are fire, bro.
Fire.
These are just some of the nicest jerseys I have ever seen. For those of you who don't know, MLB and Nike came together and do these City Connect jerseys. And so it usually takes on a life of its own, and it usually operates, let's take something from the history or the past of a franchise or a city in the sport, and let's put it into these new jerseys. Now, this is a little bit different because what they did is they took the Havana Sugar Kings, which was a team back in the day. But, man, I mean, Cameron, I honestly think that these are the nicest jerseys in all of baseball.
Listen, they are out of sight fire. I love them. And it's exactly what Major League Baseball needs. It's exactly what the Miami Marlins need. It's two things. It's a connection, to the past, as you mentioned, the Cuban Sugar Kings, which is a remarkable story in itself about how that baseball team was formulated and really was so unique. But, man, the color schemes and the throwback idea, I just love. You get Jazz Chisholm wearing that, man, and it's fire all day long.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what else to say about that, but I always think that when Major League Baseball does hit or connect on the marketing front, they usually hit home runs. And it's not always, but when they do, it's fire. And Nike's a big part of that too, right? Because, for the last 40 years, up until a couple of years ago, Majestic had the brand for all the jerseys in baseball. And so, being part of a sportswear company like yourself, man, I mean, I guess this is a pretty good transition here. I mean, what happens when what are your thoughts of what happened? I know you don't have direct contact to the situation, but what are your thoughts of what happened when Nike probably came in and took over from Majestic for Major League Baseball? There had to be some different changes, right?
There had to be. And then Nike brings more of a broad-based and recognizable marketing connection to the youth that MLB is trying desperately to connect with. And, and it's just about more visibility, and I'm sure a lot more money that Nike was able to give into Major League Baseball.
Definitely they were. And it was funny because I still got all these Majestic jerseys in my closet. But man, Nike's just done a great job. Now, to kind of transition into one more baseball story, man. So this year has been a little bit crazy. This has been the story that I've been wanting to talk about forever, and I have touched on it on a couple of mornings, but I just cannot get over it. And it's no hitters, man. There have been 6 no hitters in 6 weeks. I mean, there have been times when there have been no hitters thrown within a couple of days, within a day of each other. And all of a sudden now there's 6 no hitters. The record for everybody is there's 4 times there was 7 thrown in a season, the last time coming in 2015. And then there's one time that there's been 8 thrown, and we're talking about hundreds of years ago.
1968.
Yeah, well, okay, maybe not hundreds, but I mean, to me, I'm not as old as you are, but I'm just messing with you. So, I mean, look, what do you think this is? Because this is a statistical anomaly, right? Like, number one, it is statistically unlikely that you will go out to a Major League Baseball game and see a no-hitter. It just won't happen. And right now, if you go this year in 2021 for the rest of the year, you as a fan, for the best time in the history of Major League Baseball, there's a better statistical fact that you will see a no-hitter than ever in the history of the game. Now, it's still not much. We did the numbers on a Facebook Live a couple of nights ago. I did with somebody doing the numbers. It's like less than 1/10 of a chance. 1/10 of 1%. Less than 1/10 of 1% that you will see a no-hitter in Major League Baseball over the course of Major League Baseball, which has been like 150 years. There's been like 312 no-hitters. And there's only been like 23 or 26 perfect games. So I don't know what's going on, but man, something is happening right now in Major League Baseball. What do you attribute that to, and what are your thoughts on it?
Number one, you're right. We could spend a whole hour discussing this. So I'll give you my bullet points, and we can take it from there. And listen, for all transparency, I'm a baseball traditionalist. I love baseball. I really enjoy the no-hitter, the art of the game. I think it's a beautiful thing. We're living in a time in Major League Baseball kind of did this to itself in terms of the no-hitters and really the lack of hitting. And there's some good reasons behind it. And maybe I can open you guys' eyes up to a little bit of this. Number one, years ago, hitting coaches started changing the way they taught how to hit. Instead of, hitting line drives and creating a plane through the strike zone, to make contact for singles and doubles, gap to gap, they started preaching elevated swings and launch rate, and home runs are, instantaneously more productive than a base hit, which is true. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so this is the culmination of years of that teaching happening. So, players are taught, to swing in a higher swing plane to make stronger contact to hit home runs, which will, produce a run. If you have men on base, more runs. That's one point. Second point, pitching coaches have taught spin rate. Spin rate produces faster velocity and more change in the strike zone if you're throwing a curve, a slider, or a changeup. And pitchers have become stronger, just as hitters were stronger years ago. You have more athletic pitchers that are able to produce higher spin rates. And the pitch mix is much more versatile nowadays. Kids are being taught changeups and sliders and curveballs, 2- and 4-seam fastballs in grade school, in little league and minor leagues. And kids and coaches, parents aren't afraid of arm injuries because they're fixable.
Yep,
Tommy John has revolutionized pitching because they can fix you up, and 2 years later you can be throwing just as hard, if not harder. So I believe those are some of the factors. And then this year, it was widely publicized that Major League Baseball deadened the ball, right? So you put all of that together, and it's created less hits per game on a historic level. Games are producing 8 hits or less for the first time since the 60s, since the dead ball era. And that's something pretty startling, average hits per game. And I think you put all that together, and that's why you're seeing so many no-hitters and really, teams struggling to produce hits. But you know what? Baseball always catches up. Baseball always proves that it'll even the playing field throughout the years historically, and hitters will catch up to this.
All right. Well, let me kind of bring something up from you that you didn't touch on. Okay. You did to a certain extent, talking about pitching velocity and spin ratio and stuff. So I love baseball. I'm a purist, very much like you to a certain extent. Now, with that being said, I am also a fan of let the game evolve. Let's Major League Baseball get on the right train of getting this younger generation behind it. Okay. So I love Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer is a pitcher for the LA Dodgers, and he is also somebody who bucks the system when it comes to Major League Baseball, which I love. Okay. So I'm not for all these unwritten rules that if it's a 3-0 pitch, and there's a meatball over the plate that you shouldn't hit if you're up 15-4. No, if you get a meatball over the plate and you want to hit a home run, by all means. If you want to throw your bat when you hit a home run, by all means. Like just do better. And I love how Trevor calls that out as a pitcher. Now, with that being said, Major League Baseball at the beginning of the year are a bunch of hypocrites. And let me tell you why. Because Major League Baseball at the beginning of the year sends out a letter to all the players about all these little new rule changes that are going to happen every year. And by the way, a lot of these are normally not announced publicly to us. But Trevor Bauer, he did. And it was very interesting because what they wanted to do is, again, let's go to unwritten rules. There is one unwritten rule that I agree with, okay? Pitchers are throwing 96, 97, 98 miles an hour. And we saw what just happened with Kevin Pillar with the Mets. And we saw what his face was jacked. I mean, that looks scary as all hell, okay? And if you want to see pitchers, I didn't even want to bring them up this morning. Like, they look bad, right? I want my pitcher who's throwing 100 miles an hour to have the best command and know exactly where that ball is going. I don't want him to have any doubt that he doesn't know where this ball is going to end up at. So if you want to have a little bit of pine tar underneath your glove, underneath your hat, or yeah, exactly, and you want to get better grip on the ball, no problem with that. I do have a problem with you scuffing up the ball. I do have a problem with that, right? There are certain things you should and should not be able to do. But pitchers, since the beginning of time, have always put a little, elbow grease or something under their cap to give the ball a little bit of, grit to it. So what Major League Baseball said this year is that, okay, what we're going to do is if we suspect you of cheating, and I'm going to put that in quotation marks because all these pitchers do it. If we suspect you from cheating this year, we're going to take that ball as evidence. We're going to take it to some sort of scientific lab, and we're going to study the ball. And if we find out that there's pine tar or something that's on that is a foreign substance, you could get suspended this year. The other thing we're also going to do is we're going to look at spin rate. And if your spin rate gets better throughout the game, which according to the laws of physics, your arm should get worse as the game goes, which is BS, and we all know that, okay? Because we see what happens when elite pitchers get deep into ball games. They get better, in my opinion. Trevor Bauer ends up being crazy in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings from the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd innings. He's just getting warmed up, okay? So my problem with Major League Baseball is, number one, my first baseman, my second baseman, all the other positions are allowed to have pine tar on them. They can have all these other foreign substances. There's nothing in the rule book says that they can't. So how do they know that this ball wasn't, it's just amazing to me that the pitcher has all that pressure on them, number one, and Major League Baseball are a bunch of hypocrites too, number two. And I just, it bothers me. It bothers me to my core that Major League Baseball does this. What are your thoughts on all that?
Number one, Major League Baseball are a bunch of hypocrites, and I believe the commissioner that is currently occupying that office needs to go. Number two, you can't suspend 80% of the pitchers all at once because that's about the rate of people using foreign substance on the mound.
Yep.
And whether it's the first baseman or the catcher or actually the pitcher that's is lathered up, has Loctite underneath their cap or Vaseline on their elbow. To increase the spin rate, pine tar, what have you. It's happening and it's rampant and it's a problem in the league. So the hypocritical thinking, comes about where you put out this letter saying you can't do this, but you're advocating for less home runs and better pitching because you're dead in the ball. So you can't have one without the other, right?
100%.
And so I was listening to the Cubs broadcast on the radio yesterday, and they were discussing this, and the radio broadcasters, and there were a couple of Major League veterans, and it's just widely known that the majority of pitchers use a foreign substance to create better grip on the ball to increase their spin rate. And so until Major League Baseball addresses that and recognizes that and accepts it or bans it totally, because they haven't suspended anybody yet. They haven't sent any balls to be analyzed yet. And so that's where
they've sent balls, because Bowers admitted that they've sent that he's gotten letters, but they have not suspended anybody yet. Yeah, nothing has happened yet.
And until somebody is suspended for 80 games, and that rule is enforced, it's going to continue.
Like it bothers the hell out of me. We could talk about that all day, man. I don't want to talk about Major League Baseball no more.
Start a new podcast just talking about baseball.
That's right. Exactly. All right. So, okay, check it out. We talked about a lot of things this morning. One of the things I do want to touch on real quick is just this Heat series coming up. Before we get into this Dolphins talk, which I want you guys real quick before I get into a little bit of this Heat talk. I want you guys to use the hashtag clock blockers this morning. I want your questions. If you guys want to ask Cameron and I something that you want to know about the Miami Dolphins or Tua or anything you want to talk about with the Miami Dolphins, please ask us the question this morning. We will banter back and forth, and we will have a good time. I want to answer your questions, so make sure you get that in. Also, I want to make sure you guys donate to the channel, and you can get your comment, or if you just want to donate and help the channel grow, use the super chat button feature, because what we're trying to do and trying to create here at Miami Sports Music is something that is for you, the fans. And that's what I'm trying to do. I base all my shows based on what do the fans want, besides more Dolphins talk. And I get all of you want more Dolphins talk 24/7. I'm trying to cater to every fan and all of Miami. And that's why it's Miami Sports Music. And, we're going to have more shows dedicated to the Dolphins. We're going to have more shows dedicated to the Marlins, Heat, soccer team. We're even going to have shows dedicated to Miami entertainment, musicians, actors, stuff like that. That is in the works right now. So I'm excited about all that stuff. And we got a lot going on. And I would love your help to help that thing grow. And so we can do that. If you want to donate to the channel, you guys can help make that happen. And then also, if you want to become a member, like my man Furious did this morning, we have a new membership package. It's called YouTube Membership. You guys can join today. We got 3 different options. We got DWA, DWA for Life, and DWA Loyalty. And all 3 of these different packages have 3 different types of benefits that you get. And with each package, you go up, you get all the benefits of the previous package. And, me and some of my team were talking from Miami Sports Music. We're going to start adding some more stuff into those packages to help make it a better experience for everybody, especially come football season when the Honorable Solo D starts releasing new music. And I've heard some of the songs already, guys. They're pretty fire. So I know you guys are going to want to get that early release. So make sure you guys sign up for the YouTube membership packages today. And once we get to about 20 members, we're going to go ahead and do a live DWA swag bag giveaway. So go ahead and sign up today, and we're going to make that happen for you guys. I appreciate it. All right. Now, I want to talk real quick about the Miami Heat, man. What do you think is going to happen in this series against the Milwaukee Bucks? Because if you're looking at it right now, the Miami Heat are the number 6 seed. They are going to be playing the number 3. And, look, if there was a worse first-round matchup, the only one I could think of would have been maybe Brooklyn, because I actually think they match up well against the Sixers, believe it or not, even though that they're number 1 seed. But I don't know, I'm very skeptical about this first round, and I'm scared. And that's just me being perfectly transparent. I just don't know how they get past Giannis and the Bucks in this first round. What are your thoughts?
I honestly don't think it's going to be a close series. I think the Heat are playing the best basketball in the league, at least in the Eastern Conference right now. I think the Bucks are a little banged up.
You think the opposite?
100%. And don't underestimate the addition of Dwayne Dedmon in the middle and what he can do to kind of stop the momentum of Giannis in the paint at least. And that it gives Bam the ability to meet Giannis out on the perimeter. And if there's one person in the Eastern Conference that can match Giannis as far as athleticism at that height, it's Bam.
Well, look, man, I think about this, and I've been saying this for about a week and a half now. The X factor for me is the old man that's on the bench, Andre Iguodala. I think Andre Iguodala is the X factor of this series, and the reason why is he's never given me a reason in the playoffs recently not to think that. He does not show up in the regular season, but when playoff time comes, he shows up, and he shows up big. And to have a veteran like that on the bench who knows how to win a championship, who knows how to beat LeBron, right? He knows how to beat LeBron. And so I feel like he can get over that hump. And it makes me that's the part that makes me, okay, what is the bench going to do? We know Jimmy Butler's going to do his thing. We know Bam's going to do his thing. We know Tyler Herro's going to do his thing. What is the bench going to do? Because when you get into that bench and you start playing, you got to show up in the playoffs, especially against a 3 seed. And that's just my thoughts on it. Is Miami's bench better than Milwaukee's bench?
Listen, I think Miami's starters are better than Milwaukee's starters, and I think there's no comparison of the benches. And there's some interesting, and Coach Spo has done a masterful job over the past 3 weeks of getting this team playoff ready. Dragic has gotten extended rest, and so has Bam. They've had rest games. They incorporated Dedmon. They incorporated the other shooter. I can't remember his name, but they acquired late in the season.
Wasn't Victor Oladipo?
No. And I feel bad for Oladipo. I'm an Indiana guy. And, man, that poor guy, his injury.
Bad luck, man, is what it is. Bad luck.
Quadricep is not good, and he would have been a difference maker. But point being, the Heat went to the finals last year. You can't, just like the Lightning, you can't really prepare for that kind of experience, and Milwaukee just doesn't have it. It's a 4-game series, correct?
7-game series.
7-game series. I think 5 games to 2.
Wow. All right. So it'll be 5 games to 1 because they are 4 games to 1.
That's right.
Yeah. So you think it'll be a 5-game series?
5-game
win
series.
4 games, and Milwaukee will win 1 of those 4
That's
games.
what I meant. Yes.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure we got that on the record there. Okay. All right.
I can't have this morning.
Hey, man, you got to drink your coffee. That's what it is.
I do. I'm getting there.
All right, check it out. If you guys are watching right now, what I want you guys to go do is hit that like button. We got 23 likes. I need to have 30 in the next 10 minutes. So I need you guys to go out, hit that like button. Let's have some fun. And right now, man, let's talk some Dolphins, man. Let's talk some Dolphin chat. If you guys want to go ahead and get your comment or question in, hit that donation button or give us those questions. I want to talk what you guys want to talk about. And most importantly, I want to have a good time doing it. So first things first, man, I definitely got to talk about, some guy that we all love and we all like. But where I want to kind of start is just the national hoopla that this man has been getting. I'm going to throw this little image up on the screen. I love Peter Schrager. It says, will the success of the 21 Dolphins hinge on quarterback Tua Tagovailoa? I have never, at least not in recent history, seen so much national coverage, so much of a polarizing figure as Tua, who's only played in 10 games. And it's just, I've never seen this type of coverage for a guy in the national media like this. What are your thoughts on the national media coverage of Tua and just, either the love-hate relationship that they have with him?
Listen, I think certainly not since Tim Tebow came out of Florida and was, a playoff quarterback a couple seasons after that, has someone been scrutinized so much coming out of college at the quarterback position. And Tua, I think it's unjust. A lot of the negative press he's getting, people want to jump to conclusions about his ability to play QB in the NFL.
Colin Cowherd.
Yeah. And you know what? And he's just a clickbait. You know what? He's just has that. But that's how he gets his followers and viewers. So I understand it. But he's wrong all day long. And you touched on it. Tua, had a devastating injury. May not have ever played football again. Worked through that injury, recovered, didn't have a mini camp, didn't have a preseason. COVID really put a limitation to all the train that he could have had going into that season. And he still, had a higher passer rating than Herbert. He won more games than Herbert. And, but people want to overlook that. So you give him a full off season. You give him a full, training camp this year.
You give him two people that are running the playbook that actually believe in him. That as well. And you give him the ability to really train to be the starter, which he wasn't doing last year. Man, the sky's the limit for this guy. And I think the question is a little bit unfair that they posed on Good Morning Football, because I don't think, any team's success hinges on one player. It's a team game, but Tua by far is the one player that's going to be scrutinized the most and looked at to carry this team, I'd say. Look, I think it's very, very interesting when you look at what they've been doing to Tua and the coverage that they've been getting, right? Like, if you look at Tua, I think number one, I think some of it is even brought on by himself, right? Like this social media post that he's been doing lately, like this workout regimen. I love it. I love it. But I can see why it would get guys like Colin Cowherd worked up, right? Because people are like, well, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be working out. I mean, when TD was on the other morning, that's what TD said, right? TD's like, well, that's what he's supposed to be doing. Shout out to TD, by the way. Love TD Fence Talk. If you guys don't go check out his channel, you're definitely slacking in life. But look, I think that, Tua, there's a term that people use in football for quarterbacks, sophomore slump. Okay. You've heard that term. We all have heard it. I do not think that's going to happen this year. And it's for a lot of the reasons that you just said. No training camp, no offseason workout, injury rehab, COVID. This season was crazy. Ryan Fitzpatrick, you name it. This year, everything is working in his favor. The team is putting all their chips into the Tua basket. And if there's ever been a time to be a quarterback for an NFL football team and have the entire organization believe in you, stick behind you, publicly put their neck out on the line, draft a guy like Jalen Waddle for you. I mean, just everything. I personally think the jump that he's going to have from year one to year two, we have never seen from a quarterback. I think it's going to be that big.
It's set up to happen.
That big.
It's everything is, all the pieces are put in place for him to make that leap and do so in a way that's fortified by the team, supported by the team, to your point. And I agree. It's pretty cool when Hall of Famers, speak about Tua, and go out there and YouTube Terrell Owens' comments on Tua when Terrell took his two cousins to Alabama wide receiver camp, and Tua was there throwing to these kids. And Terrell said that he jumped in there and took some passes and never has seen a quarterback in his history, in his career, throw passes with that much accuracy. It's a pretty cool snippet to check out.
It's definitely something that I want to talk about a little bit more, but I said I wanted to get questions from the fans, and True Friends fan says, yeah, man, I've been asking and trying to find out for a while. Does anyone know the status of the Brazilian guy, Cortez Neto? He would be a beast on the D-line. Look, if I am correct, it's not Cortez, right? It's he's a guard, I thought, too. On the
they moved him to the offensive line 2 seasons ago, and he's in the last year of his 3-year international contract. He posted a picture on his Instagram at the camp the other day. So he's in camp and working with the O-line, and I believe as a guard center.
He's 6'4", 330 pounds, 28 years old. He's still considered a rookie by the term, rookie for NFL experience. Look, here's the thing. I live up here in Baltimore, and so, just to kind of give you a different angle from this. Baseball is a sport where international market is looked at so heavily, because you look at guys like Shohei Ohtani, and all these guys from overseas and other parts of the world, and they mean that much to the sport of baseball. I think football wants to get there. I think football wants to get to a part where, hey, there's got to be talent outside of the U.S. And there's got to be so much talent that, hey, these guys actually have something that can be contributed to a winning football team. So I don't know if NATO gets to play this year. I don't. But what I'll say is this. It's always good to have depth on the offensive line, because you never know what's going to happen. And if you want an opportunity to play somewhere in the NFL and have an opportunity to prove yourself, I think offensive line is it. So I think that he might get his opportunity this year, depending on how things go. And I don't say that as a negative thing, because people will say, well, if he's getting a shot at the offensive line during an NFL game, that means something went terribly wrong. I get that. I understand that. But you never know. Like you could have that sleeping horse, man. And
I think Neto's place on the team isn't so much about him getting an opportunity to play, on Sundays, as it is for the kids in Brazil and South America, seeing Neto and the opportunity he was giving and working towards maybe an NFL career, which is something NBA did very, very good in marketing to African. Now you see, all the kids coming over and playing in high schools and colleges from that continent. And it's the same thing NFL is doing in Europe and South America.
Definitely. All right. Marcus J writes, shout out to Marcus, man. You've been a big supporter of the show this week. Thank you for tuning in every day this week. Do you think Tua is in the MVP conversation come week 18? Do I think? Yes, I do. 100%. I'm not being a homer. I have said, and here's why. I just said it a little bit ago. He is going to have the biggest step up of any starting quarterback from their rookie year going into their second year in the NFL. Now, there are some factors to that, and COVID played a big factor of that. He's going to, it's and his injury is going to play a factor into that. He now has a full offseason where he's not rehabbing. He's working on his timing with these wide receivers on his own time. He's studying a playbook that's designed for him. The offensive line has one more year of experience with those three starting rookies that they had. And now that's another year of experience that they have under your belt. So my hope is that they get better. It's not like, and that's the other thing too, right? A lot of people think, or at least they're not given the benefit of the doubt of the three rookies that started on the offensive line that say, hey, they weren't that great or what. Guys, people get better as their years progress sometimes. Not sometimes, a lot of times. The offensive line is going to get better. Now, my biggest glaring weakness is the center. I'm not convinced on Matt Scurry yet. That's just my opinion. But if he turns out to be anything of anything, I think Tua, and this is tough to say because nothing is – I don't have a backup for saying this except just what I feel in my heart. I could see 30 touchdowns. I could see 30 touchdowns this year in this offense for Tua, running and passing.
I think to answer Marcus's question, it's pretty simple. If the Dolphins, when they clinch the playoff berth that they're going to this year, it's inevitable that Tua is going to be in the MVP conversation.
100% agree. Matthew Jean writes, should we acquire Melvin Ingram, the pass rusher? I'll let you take that one because I'm not sure. I need to look up a little bit more of that.
Hey, I like Melvin Ingram's game. He's nice. He costs money. And we just drafted Jalen Phillips at 18. We have Van Ginkel, who proved to be an awesome pass rusher. Ogba on the other side of the line. To me, Melvin Ingram's redundant. And, if you can get him on the cheap on a 1 year, make it or break a contract, possibly. And it's all about Coach Flo's culture, too. Does he fit into the locker room? But I wouldn't think that defensive end is a necessity. Now, listen, you can go through training camp and have an injury or two, God forbid. and then you would have depth. But I don't see a need for Melvin Ingram.
I'm looking at Melvin Ingram's stats right now. He's a first-round pick, the 18th overall in the 2012 NFL draft of the San Diego/LA Chargers. And look, he was a Pro Bowler from 2017 to 2019. Last year on the 26th, he was placed on injured reserve with a knee injury and was activated on October 24th and then placed back on injured reserve. Here's the thing. We're talking about a guy who plays a very tough position, who had a major knee injury and already had years of NFL experience under his belt. It's going to be a tough injury to come back from. Now, I agree with Cameron's sentiment. If Miami can get him cheap, and Miami got Emmanuel Ogbah cheap, by the way, people, maybe you have an opportunity to have another Ogbah in this situation, which I would love. But I think, again, that goes to, is he a coach flow guy?
And I think Ingram's kind of redundant. He's not an edge setter. Ogbah is, and Van Ginkel, and we'll see what Phillips turns out to be. But I know Ingram is not so much of an edge setter. He's more of a pass rusher and a specialist at this point in his career. So, do we need him? It's always good to have more bullets in the holster. And if the contract was right, then you kick the tires. I think, see where his knees at.
Guys, make sure you donate to the channel. Your donation helps our channel grow. You guys can do that using the YouTube live super chat button. If you guys don't have that and you guys still want to do it, if you guys go into the description of this video, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link if you guys want to use that as well. So there's definitely something in there if you guys don't want to go through YouTube to do that. But your donation does help our channel grow. So I appreciate you guys putting in the questions. I appreciate the new person that is part of our YouTube membership package. And who's the new guy? Furious. I like how Furious. I like how you spell your name too, big guy. So look, I appreciate you coming on, being a new member of the family. Let's go to the next question here. Marcus Wright, okay, if that's the case, do you think Jalen Waddle is Offensive Rookie of the Year conversation? Of course. Of course. I mean, look, I don't see, like, Trevor Lawrence has an opportunity. Let's be honest, right? He's Trevor Lawrence. But I don't see anybody else doing it, because it's not like anybody's going to be able to throw to Devontae Smith in Philadelphia, because I don't think Jalen Hurts is that guy. I don't know too many other rookie. Zach Wilson, he plays for the worst team in the NFL anyway. So that's not going to happen. So I don't know. I think he actually presents the best case of all the offensive rookies. Would you agree with that, Cam? With the position he was drafted to be brought into, it gives him the best opportunity to catch passes and make an impact right away. Because I think he'll be on the field day one with, at least 20 to 30 snaps a game. And so that gives him opportunity to take it to the house every time he catches the ball, that he's targeted. So, of course, I think, absolutely the answer is yes. He will be in the Offensive Rookie of the Year conversation. Matthew Jean wrote, I see Waddle having a Justin Jefferson type of year. Yeah, me too. When the pick happened, I knew exactly what it was. It was a Tua pick. I don't think that Tua made the pick. I think that the team made the pick with Tua in mind, as well as, like, Waddle's not a slouch either, right? Like, he's legit good. So, I just think that was the direction they wanted to go in. Marcus also wrote, I hope Ogbah gives us a good deal on the extension. I don't even think the Dolphins have had that talk with him yet, from what I have heard. So I don't know. I think that's on the Dolphins, Marcus. I don't think that's on Ogbah. I think it's on the Dolphins. Ogbah loves Miami. Let's get that straight. Loves the Dolphins, loves Miami, loves everything about South Florida. If Ogbah is back, it's because the Dolphins made any offer, and I truly believe that. I think he will take almost any offer from the Dolphins. I don't think it has to be the highest paid one.
Going back to Waddle, and the Jefferson comment, Jefferson had a tremendous year kind of because he was thrust into that role. there was some injuries in the wide receiving core that Minnesota was kind of forced to put Jefferson on the outside where he wasn't originally, supposed to be playing. And, and Jefferson came through, had a great year. I think Waddle will be playing the slot from day one. And there's depth on the outside for the Dolphins that, would prohibit Waddle from being pushed out to the boundary. That said, I think Waddle is a completely different player than Jefferson, and honestly, will be more impactful than Jefferson was last year.
If you guys want to get your questions in about the Miami Dolphins or your thoughts and want us to comment on those thoughts, please put it in the box in the chat comment section there. We'll definitely get it in. Also, guys, make sure when you come in, you're liking this. We got 26 likes right now. I want to get to 30 likes. So let's get to 30 likes. If we get to 30, I want to get to 40. So let's keep it up, man. Let's keep that train moving. We only do it with you guys. We can only do it with your help. So let's keep on making it happen. I want to give a big shout out to Jason Miller. I know Jason Miller. You know Jason Miller. He's got a big cookout coming up this weekend over on the left coast there for SoCal Fins Up Fan Club. So I'm pretty excited about that. If you're out on the West Coast and you're a Dolphins fan in Southern Cal, you need to go hit up my man Jason Miller. It's going to be a good time, y'all. Let's see here.
About that Trevor Lawrence comment from Marcus.
Yeah. Trevor, even if he has a decent year, Waddle will need to have absolutely amazing numbers to win it. You're right, Marcus. You're not wrong about that. And especially now that more eyes are going to be on Jacksonville because somebody's playing tight end there. That became official yesterday. Yeah, I mean, let's kind of talk about that while we're waiting for the Dolphins questions to come in, man. So Tim Tebow's back. He's back in the NFL. The craziness is about to begin again there, Cameron.
What a clown show. I mean, listen, I like Tebow. I like his work ethic. I think, you can't fault the guy for, wanting to play. But, man, I think he's going to be more of a distraction than an asset to Jacksonville. And, listen, Jacksonville is Jacksonville. They haven't proved to anybody they can win a game over the past couple of seasons. Adding Trevor Lawrence to he's thrown to DJ Shark. I mean, come on. I don't see it. Listen, I wasn't a big Trevor Lawrence fan at Clemson. I didn't think he was the number one.
Greg McElroy killed the pick. Greg McElroy ripped it apart.
I didn't think he was the number one quarterback coming out of college this year. And, it's certainly not the consensus number one player. But listen, and you got to do Lawrence? Yeah, Trevor Lawrence. I didn't think he was the number one
who would you have drafted number one?
Well, listen, he fit the need for Jacksonville, so I understand it. But he wasn't my number one rated player on the board.
Who's your number one rated player?
It was the Heisman Trophy winner, Devonta Smith.
So are you mad that the Dolphins got Waddle?
Absolutely not. Waddle is better fit for this team and the scheme. I thought Waddle was a better wide receiver than Devonta Smith prior to the injury, and the numbers prove that. I think Waddle was a steal. He fit exactly what the Dolphins needed. He fit exactly what Tua needs and was comfortable with, and it fit the trajectory of the Dolphins offense. Trevor's got to prove it. He's the quarterback going in, and he's going in as the number one quarterback. So the pressure on him to succeed from day one, tremendous. Waddle doesn't have that type of pressure.
Hey, that question's for you there, Cameron. You want to read it from Chef?
What is your Dolphins prediction record right now, and do we make the playoffs this season, and why? Man, that's just a wild card question because we're just getting the first days of mini camp here. On paper, sure, they're improved. They won 10 games last year. Do I think they win 11 and 12 this year, considering their schedule? I think it's absolutely possible. I see this as a 12-5 team, right, in a 17-game schedule. But those first 5 games of the season are brutal.
I mean, yeah, they are. And I think if you win 3 of those games, I think you need to win 3 of those first 5. I think you need to win 3 of those first 5. Here's the thing. 12 games is the minimum to get you in the playoffs this year. The minimum. You have to win 12. If you do not win 12, I don't think 11 games is going to get you in this year. I just don't see it. Not in the AFC.
Well, listen, you got Buffalo, who's clearly, the number one team in the division.
Okay.
The Jets are going to be improved, but they're not going to be a playoff team. The Patriots, I think, as long as they are riding Cam Newton, they're not a playoff team. And so it's the Bills and the Dolphins, right?
Yep. Yeah, 100%. And if you go and look at the rest of the AFC, I mean, there's some strong teams out there in the AFC. There's not a lot of pushovers out there. So look, you look at the AFC North, and we're playing the Ravens again, right?
On Thursday Night Football, which I went to Baltimore for that last game, and we got embarrassed, and we just don't have a good track record on national.
I'm the one who threw that party, man. The Baltimore beatdown, and we're the ones that got beat down, man. That was so rough.
Beat down bad, brother.
All right, Marcus also writes, since we're on track, do you think Jalen Phillips will be Defensive Rookie of the Year conversation? What are the chances he wins it? Well, look, I'll be honest with you. I think the Dolphins got the top 2 defensive players in the draft. That's my opinion. Jalen Phillips and Javon Holland. In my opinion, both of them fully healthy would have been top 10 picks without a question. There wouldn't have been an argument, a debate. Both of those guys would have been top 10 picks without the injuries. And so, in my opinion, the Dolphins got the top 2 best defensive players in the draft. So, yes, it's definitely there. The conversation is obviously there. But, I think I would be a teamer if I said, yeah, we got the offensive rookie and the defensive rookie on our team. I'd like to believe that, but I don't know. It just feels tough saying it after the offensive question because I know not both of them are going to win it. So the question is which one? And I mean, I love Phillips, but look, you got to realize Agba's there, and that defense is super. Maybe the numbers don't show it, but his play will. And maybe somebody else is getting those sacks on the other side because Phillips is doing such a good job.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Waddle has the opportunity to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year more so than Phillips winning Defensive Rookie of the Year because he'll be touching the ball more. He'll be on the field more. Phillips, I think, will be sharing time on the outside with Van Ginkel. He's also transitioning to more of a linebacker role versus what he did for the Canes this last year. I think the opportunity for him to make an impact as much as Waddle will be far less. That said, I think Phillips was the number 1 defensive player in the draft. He was the most dynamic pass rusher, and the Dolphins, I think, stole those first 2 picks.
I 100% do. I'm writing back. Yeah, I 100% do. I think that at the end of the day, the Miami Dolphins, their first 4 picks were amazing. Waddle, Phillips, Holland, and Eschenberg, who, by the way, all 4 of them will start this year for the Dolphins. All 4 of them will. And so give me the last time you can remember that 4 picks of the Dolphins started in week 1. I think all 4 will start in week 1.
And I think the 7th round running back Dokes is going to make a big impact on this team.
A lot of people love him. A lot of people like him. So I mean, look, we'll see where it goes. My thoughts on the running back is I love Myles Gaskins. I love him as a player. I love him as a team player. I love him as a locker room presence. My question is, is there somebody else out there on the running back side that we go out and get? Or is there somebody that's in the free agent market on the running back side that we go out and get? Or does somebody get cut? Does a veteran running back get cut before week 1 and the Dolphins have a chance to get him? You got to remember, we would have gotten Kerryon Johnson, right? But,
yeah.
The Eagles were ahead of us in the waiver wire. So I don't think the Dolphins are done on the running back side. Would you agree with that?
It goes to show you that they're looking for the right opportunity. I think they're happy with Myles Gaskin. Myles Gaskin proved he can carry the load. But this offense as we knew it last year, wasn't dependent on the run game as much as, traditional, pro set offenses are. I think this is more of an RPO offense playing to Tua's strengths, and Gaskin and Ahmed are RPO type running backs that can catch the ball out of the field. And don't forget, we traded or signed Brown from the Rams, who is a between the tackles goal line type of running back. So I don't see them investing in another running back unless one falls out from, a different team that you just can't say no to.
100%. Dwayne, our YouTube member, A-Rod, Dwayne, Chef Zhu, tell all these people they need to sign up and become members and join the family with you guys. And they can be awesome and cool, just like you, because who wants to be cool like Dwayne and A-Rod and Chef Zhu? I know I do. And Furious now too. Does McKinney get more than 50% of the third down pass rush reps this season, or average and JP eat most of these snaps? That is a good question. I think McKinney's going to find his role in this defense. Don't get it twisted. But, as far as like who's coming in on third down and who's going to play a majority of the snaps, I have to be honest, I'm not fully ready to give an answer on this question till I see training camp and preseason a little bit more. And that's just my personal opinion of that. Because, we're talking about a guy who's new to the team here too, and McKinney. So I don't know. You have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think in tandem with Jerome Baker, Benedict McKinney gives the Dolphins defense the opportunity to play a two linebacker set with Phillips and Van Ginkel on the outsides. But these two linebackers, McKinney and Baker, cover tight ends, blitz, fill gaps, and run sideline to sideline better than anybody in the league. And it will allow the safeties to, the free safety to play in the middle of the field a little bit more and be that quarterback back there. It will allow the edge rushers to do their things, to contain. It will allow the defense, interior defense, to play the lanes and pressure. I think the signing of McKinney was probably the most underrated signing the Dolphins had all year long, and will be the most prosperous.
Well, I think Van Ginkel is going to be better than he was last year, and Van Ginkel kicked ass last year. That I love Van Ginkel. I think he's such an awesome player. And hopefully Good Morning Football gives him more love too, which is always a good thing, which I love. All right, Matthew Jean writes, since we released Bobby, who plays safety? We'll see Byron Jones play safety and Needham, and the rookie from last year, Iggy, play as second and third quarter, as the second and third quarter corner. Say that 5 times fast. Your thoughts on that, man?
They drafted, the third pick was it the second round last year, Jones out of Texas, and they love that kid. And he showed up on film towards the later end of the year. And I think he gets the shot at the safety. Again, it depends on how
Brandon Jones, right?
Brandon Jones, yes. They just drafted Holland out of Oregon. So, and they're not the same player. Holland's more of a free safety. Jones is more of a strong safety.
Holland's going to start. I don't care what anybody says. If he's 100% healthy, he's the best safety on the team. One of the, if not the best. And that's my opinion.
I love that you love him. And it's all about fitting in the system. And I agree with you as far as his talent and his ability to start right away, I think is there. But listen, you don't invest all this time into Brandon Jones and draft him where you draft him to not play him. And so, it'll be a good competition in camp between those two and Needham. And there's a couple other gentlemen that are in the mix as well.
All right. A-Rod said, let's get it. Get your likes in and enjoy your Friday. I like it. Marcus, the last time it happened and it was a good thing. I cannot remember XD. I'm trying to remember. What are you talking about there, Marcus? I don't know. You must be talking with somebody else. All right. I see Patrick Laird as the odd man out in the running back room. Only his apparent chemistry with Tua might keep him on the roster. Again, I don't think I said this on the show the other day. The running back that's going to be the X factor in the season is not on the roster yet. We still get one more running back. I don't know where from, but he's not on this roster yet. And if I'm correct, Cameron, you think Dokes is going to make a big impact, right?
I like Dokes. He catches the ball out of the backfield really well, especially on those wheel routes. He runs with authority. He's a load. I think he's our fourth running back. I disagree with you. I don't think they add another running back that's going to make at least impactful playing time. With the Dolphins.
Well, let me ask if we had got Kerryon Johnson, would he have been? What would his role have been on this team?
Listen, I don't think Kerryon Johnson plays a significant role on any team because of his knees.
So again, the question is, like, would he have been a third down back? Would he have just been somebody to give depth in the, to give the competition for Gaskin to fuel up some competition?
I think Kerryon Johnson would be at the most just a camp body.
Woo. Yeah, I don't think here's what I think. I don't agree with that in any way, shape, or form. And the reason why I do not agree with that is because that, to me, that's not Flo's MO. Flo's not bringing somebody in to be a body. Flo's bringing somebody in for competition. And Flo was going to bring him in because he saw a role for him on this team. And so my thought is, if they are doing that, if they put a claim in for him, they are scouring the NFL right now to see who's available to play running back for the Miami Dolphins.
Hey, listen, Kerryon Johnson's pedigree kind of warrants you to look at him and to, kick the tires. But I'll tell you, he's got 2 knee injuries. He played half the season for Detroit last year. He was productive in 1 game. And I'll buy you cheesesteaks for the rest of the football season if Kerryon, carries for over 800 yards with the Eagles.
Well, I'm not making the bet, but I'm not going to turn down a cheesesteak either.
Hey, and listen, I'm going to throw a name at you. That will surprise you through camp, and I think will beat out Patrick Laird and make the team as a running back, at least, for special teams and an extra running back on the roster, and that's Jordan Scarlett out of Florida. That kid was,
let me look up his numbers.
Yeah, skills for days, 5'11", 210, and he can run the rock, man.
I'm looking him up right now. Played for the Carolina Panthers, right? If I'm correct, let me look it up. 5th round, yes. Yep, Scarlett was drafted by the Panthers. See, I know my stuff, man. I'm good. Drafted by the Panthers in the 5th round. Entered his rookie year in 2019 as the 3rd running back on the depth chart behind Christian McCaffrey and Bonifune. Played 9 games primarily on special teams before suffering knee injuries in Week 12. He was placed on injured reserve in November of 2019 and was waived on August of 2020. Played for the Detroit Lions, but was only on their practice squad. And then this year in January signed a futures contract with the Miami Dolphins. What makes you think he's going to make an impact? Because to me, he looks like another Kalen Ballage.
Kalen Ballage was, Kalen Ballage was a nice runner that Gase messed up. And he's back in the Jets with Gase. I like Ballage.
The man averaged 1 yard a carry and was the worst running back in the history of the NFL, besides Reggie Bush playing in Buffalo and getting negative yards for an entire year.
And I think he was running behind a line that was equivalent to me and you.
Yeah, exactly.
But listen, I going back to the question, man, I don't think I think the running back room is where it's at unless something big falls off the tree. I think that the competition's in house, and I mentioned Jordan Scarlett. There's some others, Patrick Laird as well.
He went to St. Thomas. He went to high school here in Florida.
Yeah,
St. Thomas,
absolutely. And he's been training all off season with some of the Dolphin players, and he's been showing out. And I just hear some buzz about him.
Okay, now that is special, because if he's been there have been I want to say about 20 or 30 guys throwing with Tua and being on the field with Tua this whole offseason in Florida. And so
including Lynn Bowden and Albert Wilson. We haven't talked about Albert Wilson, buddy. And
who do either one of those guys get cut, or do they both make the squad? What happens to Jakeem Grant?
Yeah, Jakeem Grant, I think, is on the bubble unless they keep him solely as a punt returner, kick returner. And I don't really want to see Waddle back there returning kicks as good as he is, because he's more valuable, taking snaps.
I think that's so overrated because we had Ted Ginn do it, and he was the 10th overall pick.
Well, Ted Ginn was kind of and listen, we can talk Ted Ginn all day long because he's carved out a beautiful 12-year career of him and his family. And I'd take 12 years in the NFL any day, regardless of where I was drafted. But Albert Wilson, I think, is primed to have a blow-up year if he makes a squad. I think, the RPO game and with him running routes out of the backfield and in the slot, I think, before he was injured, Albert Wilson was leading the NFL in yards after catch. And,
really?
100%. And, he had a hip injury that was pretty devastating. And, people don't really understand what he exactly went through with his hip injury. And from what I'm seeing and hearing, man, he's 100% back. And if he is a weapon that is a Tyreek Hill type.
All right. So let's go. Saxman J. Will. Who do you think will start at center this year? All right. So if you've watched this show, you know that my thoughts of biggest weakness on this team are center. I live up here in Maryland. I've seen what happened with him. I don't think people just lose the yips. I think a lot of any game is mental. Any professional game is mental. Baseball, football, basketball. And I feel like if a player gets the yips, even if he comes back it's something that sticks with you in the back of your mind for your entire career. And that's what happened to this kid. And so I don't trust him 100% from his mental standpoint. I'm not saying he's a bad player or he's incompetent or he's stupid. I'm just saying that's tough for a player like Skura to have the yips. And then, what happens if he has a bad play? I mean, I feel like that just takes you out of your whole mindset. But I do think he's the best center on the roster. But a lot of people like Seiler, right? So, I mean, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think Seiler's a defensive tackle.
Dieter, right?
Dieter is who you were referring to. I agree. I'm not a Skura fan at all. I didn't like the signing. And if you think the running back of this team isn't on the roster, I think I can say that for the center. I don't think he's on this roster yet.
Wow. So where are they getting that from?
It'll be a cut. That'll be a cut. And traditionally, every year, there's offensive linemen that get cut that are quality offensive linemen. It happened with the Dolphins a couple of years ago. But, they've been grooming Dieter to be center too. And, I never underestimate a Wisconsin offensive lineman.
I ain't mad at you there. I mean, here's a reality, right? Everybody was mad about the draft about not getting Javonte, right? That Denver jumped up right in front of us and got Javonte, stole him out from under us. Here, I think, is the reality. I think if Javonte was there, the Dolphins weren't drafting him because they turned in that card so damn quickly for Javon Holland. I think they knew exactly who Javon Holland was and what type of player he had the capability to be. And so that's my thoughts on that. With that also being said, I was pissed, though, that we didn't go get Landon Dickerson because I wanted him so freaking bad because I just felt like he was the perfect match with Tua. And that's what I thought. Shout out to Eric Carrier giving the donation of $9.99 to the channel. Eric, I love you, man. You're such a good guy.
Thank you, Eric.
You're the man, brother. What are your thoughts on you think that Dieter? You think the reason that happened is they believe in Dieter, that Dieter's going to be the starter?
Yeah, I don't see them giving, especially the contract they gave Skura. It's not starters money. So we'll see. I think it'll be a competition between the two. And I think if nobody really shines and outworks the other, they're going to look at bringing somebody from the outside in. And going back to the draft, I think the perfect center, and I was pounding the table for this guy, was Creed Humphrey.
Oh my God, he was good too from Oklahoma, right?
And he's a left-handed quarterback. Snap into a left-handed center, snap into a left-handed quarterback is exactly what you need and want. The guy is a beast, but he got drafted too high. He was round pick. He was like pick 63, I believe, which, the Dolphins valued Eichenberg over him.
Matthew says one weakness about Eichenberg was his footwork. Do you think he has what it takes to be Tua's blindside?
He hasn't given up the sack in 3 years, so I don't know.
I mean, look who he's been playing against. I mean, it's Notre Dame, right? Like I'm not saying Notre Dame's a pushover. I'm just saying they don't play in an elite. They're not in any conference. They're not playing elite. They're not playing elite talent week in, week out.
Ooh, they played Michigan. They played Alabama. They played Penn State. They played Northwestern, who is an awesome team. I think they're not Memphis. They're not playing in the Suncoast Conference.
They're not UCF.
Yeah, no, we're not going to go down that road because I'll piss some people off. Anyway, I think they value the tackle position over the center position. I think centers and interior linemen you can find that are at least playable and average, more so than you can tackles. And so that's probably why they drafted Eichenberg over Humphrey.
I want you to read Eric's comment out loud to everybody.
Dieter sucks. Skura is one of the best in the game until he got his yips last season. If they get him back to form, he will get a second contract here. Hey, man, from your lips to God's ears, brother, but I don't see it happening. Me neither.
I do agree. I don't think Dieter's the answer, that first part. But I don't think Skura is the answer at all either. I just – like, you're a baseball fan. Like, you have to agree with me on the yips thing. It's a mental thing, right?
Yeah, we saw Steve Saxon ruined his career, but, yeah, it's absolutely a mental thing.
Because I feel like with players, especially with a center, it's about repetition, right? Like a pitcher does certain things with his arm, and he'll do that throwing motion every way, every day, 365 days a year. The center's doing the same thing. He's releasing the ball the same way. He's grabbing the ball the same way from the field. And I feel like once you get Eric, Miami native, didn't like your comment. He said it was a dumb comment. I just wanted to throw that out there, Eric. I want you to play nice, but I wanted to throw that out there. Shout out to Miami native. He's been on he's been watching the podcast too a lot every day. I appreciate the support. But yeah, I think it's all about repetition. I think it's all about repetition and consistency. And so for me, Notre Dame plays in the ACC. Okay. Still, Dwayne, I love you, Dwayne, by the way. I love you. You're my guy. Okay. Dwayne, bro, it's the ACC. They don't have anybody except Clemson there. That's it.
He played against Jalen Phillips and Quincy Roche this past year.
Marcus says, didn't Liam get reps against Paye?
Quiddy Paye? Absolutely, he did.
Would you say that he was the best defensive end besides Jalen? Or maybe you might even like him better than Jalen.
Yeah, I love Quiddy Paye. I had him ranked on my board above Jalen Phillips only because of the injury concerns. And Quiddy, I think, is more has a more trajectory and ceiling. But it's all about form and fit and the program that you're in.
All right, guys, we're going to be on for another couple of minutes, and then we're going to get off. So I want to appreciate everybody's donations today. Eric, thank you for your big donation. We're not off yet. If you guys want to donate to the channel, hit the super chat button. If you guys want to ask a question real quick before we get off, do that. Make sure you guys sign up to become a member. We got a brand new member this morning in Furious. So shout out to Furious, our new YouTube member. I definitely love the support you guys are showing the channel and showing the show. I love the fans that you guys are, all of you. And we're going to talk a little bit here about East 32 for a second. Real quick, Eric Carrier says, Chuck Knobloch from the Yankees, great developed yips, never recovered. Some guys can bounce back, some guys can't. The dumb comment was to you saying Notre Dame doesn't play anyone. Touche, Eric. Touche.
You got him on that, Eric.
Matthew Jean says the Panthers game was crazy last night. Matthew, yes, man. If you haven't seen the first part of our show, you need to rewind this thing and go check it out, because we do talk a lot about the 6-5 win, and then having the closer for the goalie come into the game last night from the bullpen. Excuse the expression, but yeah, definitely. I didn't expect it last night, Matt. Dwayne says ACC, Miami, Virginia Tech, Clemson, Duke, UNC, NC State, Wake, and Virginia, all who have put players in the NFL. Okay, so has UCF, and come on, give me some horrible names that have some horrible schools that have put players in the league, guys. I need your help. Like, Dwayne, here's my problem. Like Miami, U all day, turnover chain, love the U. They haven't been like they haven't put a winning team out on the field lately. Virginia Tech, Duke, UNC, NC State, Wake Forest. None of those teams are combining for a national championship. Not every team can play in the ACC. Not every team in the SEC can play in the SEC. Are you kidding me? So yeah, I agree. We'll agree to disagree on this, Dwayne. That's all I'm going to say about that. Sean Needle says Rick Ankill from the Cardinals had to convert from a pitcher to an outfielder because he got the yips. Yes, he did. That was a really cool story, too. I always enjoyed Rick Ankill's story and always felt bad for the guy, but I always thought it was cool when he came back into the league with the Cardinals as an outfielder. All right, man. You got this thing on your hat. It says East 32. Tell me how that came to be, man. Tell me how that, people need to know the story about East 32.
Hey, so East 32 Dolphins Tailgate. For those of you who don't know, you can find us on Instagram at East 32 Dolphins Tailgate. You can find us on Twitter at East 32 Fins Tailgate. And we have our own Facebook page at East 32 Dolphins Tailgate. But how it came about, I moved down here in 2002, became a Dolphins fan because I was working at the host hotel that the Dolphins, stayed at through training camp here in Plantation. Got to know some of the players, got to know the staff and the team. And throughout the years, just became a Dolphins fan. My boss in 2005, passed away in 2006, and he was a season ticket holder from 1966.
Wow.
And
from the beginning.
Yeah, and before he passed away, he asked me if I wanted his 2 season tickets that I share now with his good buddy that started in 1966. So we have 4 seats, and we're in the wine and liquor business, and we kind of just sat in the cash lot, 10 of us cooking over my Weber grill, before a game, and then it just grew. More and more people. We moved over to the orange lot. Now 8 years ago, and just started bringing my grill out and cooking for folks, and it just grew into this beautiful, wonderful community of fans, not only Dolphin fans, Canes fans, but we welcome all out-of-towners. We welcome fan clubs from visiting teams. I construct a menu around the visiting team's regional food and cuisine. We're family friendly. We have a live DJ and a full bar, and it's just gotten to this big welcoming point out there in East Orange, and now we over the past few years through some different fan clubs in different cities, I've taken the tailgate to Atlanta, and we'll be doing so in Nashville and Tampa this year, and Charlotte.
We were on last night on TPP. And TPP said that, you guys are doing the thing over at FanFest in Nashville this year.
Yeah, New Year's weekend. It's going to be out of sight, crazy. And but listen, we're just a fun, loving group of Dolphins diehards that just love to entertain and host and provide a good atmosphere pre-game.
You know, one of the things that I fell in love with the Dolphins from a very young age. I fell in love with the Dolphins because for me, the Dolphins, you know, they were somebody that I grew up in a military family. I moved around a lot. So I didn't always have the friends that I could stay friends with because I just moved around so much. And I went to different schools. I went to like 5 different elementary schools. Actually, I think I went to 6 elementary schools. That's how much we moved around. And I'm sure that there are people that can say, I moved 12 times, I moved 100 times, whatever. But for me, that was a long time. And so, you know, I look at that, and the one constant for me that never changed was the Dolphins. They were there every Sunday, every football season. And so the Dolphins were essentially, I know this sounds corny, but they were my best friend. You know, I loved the Dolphins. I loved everything about them. I loved their colors. I loved their quarterback. I thought Dan Marino was the greatest thing in the world. I had posters up on my wall. And I thought I could never be a bigger fan than what I was. And then I went to my first game down in Miami. And it was the day I found out I was having a son. My wife called me when I'm at the team hotel, like where Shula's is, I guess, right in Plantation, right? And you know, I'm getting autographs through the window and everything, and because my room is right next to the players' parking lot, and I'm literally opening up my door and a ball and everything, and they're just signing autographs, which is to this day still one of the coolest things ever. And my wife calls me and she goes, "We need to talk." I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "So I took a pregnancy test." Okay. She's like, "I took 2 pregnancy tests." I was like, "Okay," because I'm shocked at this point. She's like, "You're gonna be a dad. It's gonna be a boy." And I was like, "Holy cow!" So it was very interesting. It was great, is really what it was. And you know, unfortunately, we lost that game that day to the Ravens, nonetheless. But it was still just one of the most amazing experiences. But I say all that to say this. That was the very first time I went to your tailgate. I was with Manny from the Dolphin Bandits. I don't know why I wasn't with Solo at that time, because me and Solo knew each other, but I just don't think he was there that weekend or something. And but yeah, I went from Manny from the Bandits, and it was one of the greatest experiences. I will forever love Manny from the Dolphin Bandits because he gave me my first experience at Hard Rock. And part of that experience was at East 32 and East 12 too. But it's just, you're synonymous with my very first memory of Hard Rock Stadium. Eating your food is one of my very first memories from Hard Rock Stadium. And I love it. And every year I've gone back, and I've, you know, obviously being with Solo and being part of Miami Sports Music, I've gotten to know you a lot more over the years, and you and I have developed a very good relationship and friendship, and I cherish that so much. But part of that comes from just the atmosphere you bring at East 32. I feel like everybody there is family, and it doesn't matter who walks through that East 32 section. You're making sure that they're having the best time, that they're eating and drinking, and that they're set. Kids too, you take care of the kids, and it's just a wonderful atmosphere. And if you have never been to Hard Rock, you must go to East 32. Otherwise, you have not been to a Dolphins game.
You know, it's funny, and I appreciate all those kind words, Stephen. It's a labor of love, and it's something, you know, just as you do with this podcast, you do it because you love the team, you love the fans. You know, it's for the fans, and that's the bottom line of it all. But, you know, it's funny, a couple seasons ago when the Dolphins decided to kind of, they put tennis courts in one half of the parking lot. So, you know, half of the orange lot was taken out, and so East 32 was actually taken out, but we created this brand, and I didn't want to stop it. So we just went 2 aisles to the south, and we're directly underneath the East 22 sign, and which is actually a better place for us because we're in the same row with East 12. And one of the things that we're going to do this year with East 12 and that whole row is kind of make that whole row the fan row, the hometown tailgate row. We're going to put our tailgates a little bit closer together. And I know you and I talked about this, but it's going to be an exciting year for East 32 Dolphins tailgates. And Chef Jew, come see us out there. We're directly underneath the East 22 sign. Love to have you out there, and anybody else on this podcast. We welcome everybody. Just hit up the Instagram. That's where I update on a weekly basis what we're doing for that week's prior game.
I know we don't have everything official and set in stone yet, but there is a good opportunity that Miami Sports Music did a pregame show last year via COVID, doing what we're doing here. And so the hope is that we can try to do some sort of a live tailgate every home game. So we're working on that. So hopefully that comes to fruition. A lot of stuff there's a lot of moving parts with that. So hopefully that happens, because I'd love to be out there every Sunday with you, man.
Yeah, man, that's the plan.
All right. Look, is there any last thing you want to talk about before you get out of here? Because it's been a long morning. I appreciate you sticking with me in overtime.
Hey, absolutely. I love it. Hopefully you'll have me on again soon. I know there's Definitely. A couple other questions here. Preston Williams, does he make the team? Duke said, I think he does. He's the 4th wide receiver on this team. And, he was the unicorn prior to injury. And I think, with DVP and Waddle and whoever else, Bowden, Wilson, running out of that slot, gives, Tua some weapons that and we didn't even talk about Gesicki running down the middle. But gives Tua some weapons that are unparalleled. So I think, yes.
You do bring a good question that I do want to talk. We need 4 more likes. When we get to 40 likes, we'll get off. I need 4 more likes. Does Gesicki get traded somewhere either this season, or does he resign? Because here's the thing: he's up in his contract year. He's going to demand top 5 tight end money. What do you think happens with Gesicki, and where do you see his future with the Dolphins?
It wouldn't surprise me if he was traded sometime in the preseason. They drafted Hunter Long, who has out of Boston College, who has who is the tight end for the Florida Gators that went in the top 10?
Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts. Hunter Long had more catches last year than Kyle Pitts.
Matthew Jean wanted to know, how do you like Hunter Long? There
you go. I think Hunter Long was drafted for a reason, and that's to give the Dolphins the option of trading Gesicki. I don't think they pay him top 5 tight end money.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think there's any way they do that.
And listen, and from the rumblings I hear, he's not on the same page as Tua. So we'll see what goes on with Gesicki. I think that's one of the main storylines through the preseason.
Chef, you want to know, what are your social media sites again, and can you put them in the comment box?
Yeah, I can do that. It's it's really easy. It's East 32 Dolphins Tailgate on Instagram and Facebook. East 32 Fins Tailgate at Twitter.
I'm putting them in there now. Dolphins.
East 32 Dolphins Tailgate on Instagram and Facebook.
Dwayne, Matthew Jean has one last question. Why don't you read that while I'm typing this in?
One last question. Well, let's get to Marcus first. He said, how much does Fuller pop off this year, and how much will it take to keep him if he does? Which is an awesome question. We didn't even talk about Fuller and his signing. So what Fuller does, along with Waddle, is take the tops off defenses. So, defenses can't stack against the RPO because now they have speedsters in both Waddle and Fuller that can go long. You've got Gesicki running up the seam. You've got Parker on the outside who, you throw a jump ball to him and he wins. So does Fuller pop off? I don't know if he has, a groundbreaking season in terms of touchdowns and yardage, but I think, he goes for maybe, 6 touchdowns and 800 yards, and it'd be exactly what this offense needs as a whole. The other question, one last question. Do you see Byron Jones and Xavier Howard's contracts? Is that what it said here? Oh, reconstruction.
Do you see well, two things. Let me comment on that first, and then I'll let you go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Byron Jones, God love the man. There is, mark my words, people. I want everybody to listen. I want everybody to listen good. There is no way this franchise in the near future, in my opinion, is going to pay top money at a position for any player at any position again anytime soon. No way it happens. I think they saw what happened with the Byron contract, and I just don't think you will ever see it again, because now they're bringing in pieces that they like. They're bringing in players that they like. The Dolphins are not going to be that team that we've seen in years past that say, here's a blank check. Come on to South Florida. We got no state tax, and we got South Beach. It just doesn't happen.
And listen, they've had great drafts under Greer where they've backfilled those positions. They don't have to pay those big contracts or free agent money. There's a good question. Who spells Davis at the Zero Tech? And it's another under the, if I can answer this, Steve.
Yep.
It's another signing that we don't talk about was Jerome Butler. Or Adam Butler, sorry. I think came from the Patriots. And he's 6'5", 300 pounds, and, does exactly what Raekwon Davis does. They also have an undrafted free agent from last year, Benito Jones, that got snaps in the last 3 games that I like a lot. And go run YouTube on Jerome Johnson from Indiana, because he's another big body Zero Tech that was an undrafted free agent. Dude makes plays, man. Check out Jerome Johnson running down Saquon Barkley from behind.
Guys, I need 3 more likes. 3 more likes. All right.
Shout out to James Tyrell in the house.
I was about to say East 32 tailgate. So look here, I want to give you an opportunity with this platform too, while we're still on, real quick. You don't do East 32 tailgates by yourself. Who are some of the people that help put that together and help you put that on week in, week out?
Yeah, no, thanks a lot for asking that. We're definitely an army of people now. I've dedicated bartenders and folks that set up the AV. We have an air conditioned tent with couches over there. But as far as the cooking every day, Nick Cirillo helps me out. AJ Minderman helps me out. Derek Surge on the couches in the air conditioned tent. There's just a myriad of people. Robert Hendren comes out there and does the cheesesteaks when we play the Jets. So and shout out to Sonny's Cheesesteaks down in Hollywood. But it really takes an army, and I appreciate everybody who helps out.
We did it. We got to 40 likes. We got to 40. See, it's you guys that are the winners here, not me. It's you guys. You guys know what I need on Monday? I need 50 likes on Monday. So here's what I need you guys to do. This weekend, I know you guys couldn't catch every second of every show this week. So here's how you can help me this weekend. This weekend, I want you to go rewatch on YouTube all the shows that you missed, every last one of them. The one with TD, the one with Dolph Freaky, the one with this gentleman right here, Cameron from East 32. I want you to go look at all the different ones, okay? Because, look, views and more likes on those channels and people rewatching it. Again, YouTube's got algorithms. So the only way we grow and get bigger and get YouTube to push our content up is by you guys watching that content. So I need you guys to go watch Miami Sports Music Podcast Network, #1 morning show for Miami fans, Clock Blockers. I need you to go rewatch all the episodes, all right? Like Jason said, oh, snap, 50, 42, they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. They don't want to get to 50 this morning, Jason. They couldn't possibly give me 8 more likes in the next few minutes. They couldn't possibly do that. I mean,
Steve, let's do it for 9 minutes to get his 8 likes. Let's go.
All right. This is it. We're going to get to 50. I need 8 more likes. You guys need to do that right now. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give you a few different topics, and then we're gonna play. We're gonna go fast. All right. So I want you to give me the first few things that come to mind. I'm at 42 likes. I need all of my people that are regulars and all of my members to help me in the chat room to get to 50. Because if we're at 42, I know we can get to 50. All right. So let's get to 50. Let's go. You ready?
Let's go.
All right. Coach Flo, Coach of the Year?
No.
Okay. Chris Greer, best GM the Dolphins have had in the last 25 years?
Undoubtedly.
Okay. Tua Tagovailoa, does he start all 17 games this year?
That's a great question. I'll say yes.
That's why I asked it. Okay. Okay.
I'll say yes.
Okay. 30 touchdowns, over, under for Tua?
Over.
All right. Let's go Miles Gaskins. Over, under 750 yards this year.
I would say over 700, less than 1,000.
Less than 1,000. Okay. Let me check it out. Miles Gaskins, over, under 8 touchdowns.
Over.
Okay. Next thing. Let's go Jalen Waddle. How many touchdowns does he get this year? Like, is there a number that you think Waddle's going to get in touchdowns?
Somewhere in that, I think he's offensive rookie of the year. If he's over 10 touchdowns and 1,200 yards receiving.
Okay. Xavier Howard, does he get 10 plus interceptions again?
Not for the Dolphins.
Oh, see, you had to throw that out there. All right, guys, 42 likes. Come on. I need 8 more likes. Stop playing with me. You're playing with my emotions. Let's go. The other thing that let me get in here. Let me look. Who played Emmanuel Agba or Jalen Phillips? Who gets more sacks and how many?
Who gets more sacks?
Yep.
Ooh, you know what? I'll say Agba, and it's 7.
7. Okay. NFL's does the Dolphins secondary or the Dolphins defense lead the league in interceptions this year?
Oh, wow. That's such a crapshoot. Top 5.
Top 5. Okay. Let's go tight end. Gesicki, over, under 8 touchdowns.
Not for the Dolphins.
Wow, you just sending everybody packing this year, my guy. So does that mean Hunter Long is going to be the starter?
No, I think Adam Shaheen's the starter. I think
wow.
I think Adam Shaheen, Hunter Long, Ethan Carter, I think makes the team because of his versatility. I'd be surprised if Gesicki's on the team.
45 likes, guys. 45 likes. I need 5 more. Let's go. Go ahead, Gesicki.
I think I'd be surprised if he was on the team. Opening day.
All right. Next topic. Who is the running back that gets a majority of the carries besides Gaskin this year? Who's the number 2 for Miami?
Jerome Brown.
Jerome Brown. Where do you see
his name? Jerome? It's Malcolm Brown. Sorry, Jerome Brown. Jerome Brown's not coming back from the Canes. That's right.
Where do you see Ahmad play? Does Ahmad get any playing time?
I love Ahmad's game. I think he's a great compliment, and he's really, Gaskin 2.0.
47 likes. Let's go. 3 more likes, people.
Let's go. Hit that like button. I think Ahmed, gets 350 to 500 yards.
Rob says in the comment box, Dokes.
Love Dokes.
Okay.
And Bell ain't coming, brother. Bell is not coming. Le'Veon Bell is not coming.
Hey, by the way, walk it like we talk it. Walk it like we talk it. I love that name, by the way. Such a good name. I do think Le'Veon Bell is coming. Not only that, I'll one up you. If he doesn't come, I think the Dolphins could go after Kareem Hunt. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't be mad at Kareem Hunt. I think Kareem Hunt's got game. I think he's more of a bell cow back, right? Kareem Hunt's got to, get.
What would the Dolphins have to give up to go get a guy like Kareem Hunt? What do you think the price tag is for that? 48 likes. 2 more likes. 2 more likes, people. 49.
A future 3rd round pick. Maybe a couple picks, 3rd and a 5th.
Okay. Last question. 50 likes. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Boy, y'all made me proud today. Y'all gonna make me tear up, man. Y'all gonna make me cry. That's what I'm. Whoo!
Walk it like we talk it. Bell coming. We'll see.
I can't even get over how awesome you guys are as fans, and you guys, 51 likes, keep them coming, baby. I just woo, guys are gonna make me cry, man. 50 likes, son, this morning. That's what I'm talking about, man. So you know what we need to do on Monday? We need to get to 75 likes on Monday. That's what I need from you guys. Everyone's saying, Rob said, what up? Or what do you say? We love you, man. Congratulations, guys. Thank you, everyone. Marcus says 50 likes. Andrew
I love
said,
I love the fantasy fan panel. Penny Solo gang is going to eat crow this year. I couldn't agree with you more.
Dude, hey, Fantasy Pan Panel is one of the coolest guys on this channel, man. No doubt. He does not always think the same way I think, but that's what I love about him. And,
that's the beauty.
That's the best part of this channel is guys like Fantasy Panel, guys like Chef Shu, guys like Marcus, guys like Rob, D1 Chosen. Walk It Like We Talk It has been on almost every day this week. Jason Miller. I can't get over how much love you've given the channel this week, man. I really appreciate it. Duke Tomlinson. I know I'm missing some people here, but I feel like you guys gave me 50 likes. I got to give you. And now I'm at 53 likes. I wonder if we can get to 60. Ingrid, what is it? Engraven Vids. He's been so cool. Dwayne. What else we got here? Matthew's been pretty awesome watching the channel. Miami native. Duke Tomlinson, Eric Carrier. I don't know who that guy is, but he's crazy. Who else? I don't want to forget anybody today. I feel like I owe it to you guys. Saxman J. Will. What else? Justin.
Hey, Dwayne the Dynasty, he's got a good question.
All the way down at the bottom?
Yeah.
Go ahead and read it. Does
any defensive player, excluding the secondary, make Pro Bowl All-Pro? And I think Baker, and I think Raekwon Davis.
You know what? Last question, because we're at 53 likes. Get to 55 likes, people. 2 more likes for 55. How many Pro Bowlers do we have this year? And who are they?
Tua, Parker, Baker, and Davis.
Tua, Waddle, Gesicki, because I don't think Gesicki's gone personally. Not this offseason. That's 3. X-Man, Javon Holland. I'm telling you, I love the kid.
Go Ducks.
I think there's maybe 2 guys from that offensive line that could get in, and I think it could be a take your pick from either side. Andrew Van Ginkel, dude. I think I truly think we can get. Somebody's trying to call me. I truly think that we get 7 to 9 Pro Bowlers this year on the team.
If we get 7 to 9 Pro Bowlers, think about that. What was the last team that had 7 to 9 Pro Bowlers?
53 likes, people. 55. The Chiefs, yeah, definitely.
The Chiefs and the Bucks. Okay, we're talking Super Bowl contenders, 14-win teams. And if we have 7 to 8 Pro Bowlers, we're winning 14 or 15 games.
I said. So real quick. So think about this, though, bro. So think about this. It's going to take 12 wins to get into the playoffs, right? And I want you to think about 2 or 3 games. Matter of fact, you're pretty good at this. Give me 2 games last year that the outcome could have been way different with either a little bit more experience or some better players at certain positions. Give me 2 games where the outcome would have been different. I think the Chiefs.
Well, number one's the Chiefs, and so I'll say the Chiefs was two things for me on the Chiefs real quick. It was the most eye-opening game for me to appreciate Tua. He made throws in that game that I've never seen a quarterback make, since Marino. And he was throwing to Gesicki, number one, but he was throwing the second half to Matt Collins, to Malcolm Perry, to Lynn Bowden, and he almost won that game.
Dude, I 100% agree. I would say that the other thing that the reason I say that, the reason I bring up that as a point, Cam, is because in my opinion, if that happens, which I think it will, good teams find a way to win. So it is not out of the question. It is not out. I'm not pulling this out of my ass. I'm not pulling this out of thin air. The Dolphins can win 14 games this year. I think it's unlikely, but they could do it. And they have enough talent on this roster that if guys step up their game, they elevate their game. Injuries are not at a high. I'm just saying, I think it could happen. Marcus said the Bills' first game, the Chiefs game, and the Seahawks game last year.
Yeah, definitely the Seahawks game.
So we won 9 games, right? So that's 10, 11, 12.
10 games.
Right? 10 games. 13 games. That puts us at 13-3 last year. 53 likes. I need 2 more likes.
And I want to give a shout out to Rob Gosford. He made a good point, and in something that about a play in the secondary that I agree with him on, and that's and I can't say his name, but to Igby, the Auburn.
Iggy. I say Iggy. I've been told to just say Iggy.
Let's say Iggy. He makes Xavier expendable, if not this year, but definitely next. And that's because, listen, that kid, at Auburn played 2 years, played 1 year as a starter, and was a tremendous cornerback. There's again tape of Javonte and Waddle asking, and a reporter asked them who was the best cornerback they faced outside of Patrick Surtain in practice every day, and they both named Iggy. And I know he's been working his tail off this offseason. Well, he's set to make big strides in his second year.
Dude, I think Iggy is. I have to admit, I was very interested. I don't know the word I should use. Perplexed, I guess, maybe, with that being the 3rd pick in last year's draft of the first round. Because I thought he was a nickel. He's part of a nickel package. I'm like, why are you bringing in somebody with a first-round pick that's here for certain packages? I need somebody that can play every down. And then what I saw last year, I saw some glimpses of. And then for some reason this offseason, I mean, that man's got more hype than a hype video, man. Like, it's crazy.
Well, Steve, he wasn't drafted to come in and play right away. He came in because he was there and available, and the pedigree he has and the potential he has to be a starting boundaries cornerback in this league, and one of the best, was recognized by Greer and Flo, and that's why they draft him. That's why Greer accumulates all these first and second round picks, because he can make luxury picks. And Igby is absolutely one of those luxury picks. I want to give a shout out to Hamlet. He's one of our regulars at East 32, came in and made a like and is in the show. So Hamlet, what's up, brother?
What up, Hamlet? Dropping knowledge. I like it. Guys, 2 more likes. Come on, give me the 55. You guys got me to 50. Give me the 55. I know you guys can do it. I know you guys can give me 2 more likes. I keep on wanting to stay because I like seeing the likes go up. It's really cool. He's really good in the press, Rob said too, Iggy.
Really good in the press. I mean, listen, he's a big physical specimen who can, I think he ran a 4.4 or 4.3. The guy can play, and he's gonna make some guys uncomfortable on his own team as far as contracts go, because
really,
he's definitely starter material.
All right, my last question for you while I'm waiting for these 2 last likes, and give me a good answer, long drawn out answer. The Dolphins had the opportunity to have their bye after the London game and chose not to do it. and chose to take it later in the year, which I believe is week 14, right? Is when they're going to take it, or week 13?
Week 13.
So my question to you is, number one, what do you think of the Dolphins making that decision? And number two, it's actually a 3-part question. What do you think of the Dolphins making that decision? How will that affect injuries, like people that just need that off week, right? And now we're getting later and later into the year. And number three, how will that affect the win-loss column?
You know, it tells me that Greer and Flo are really confident in the depth of this team. They've accumulated players, and they have a locker room that they believe in. And I think that they view themselves as legitimate playoff contenders, and having a bye in week 13, resting up for those final 4 games, I think that's the reason they took that. They view themselves as legitimate playoff contenders and could use that rest later in the season.
Okay. So do you think that you don't think it's going to play an injury factor? Like, because look, I mean, we're talking that they upped the season by 1 game. That's a big deal.
Yeah, but there's
so
2 less. There's 2 less preseason games, so it's really an anomaly. They just added 1 regular season game and got rid of 1 preseason game, right? So there's only 2 preseason games, if I'm not mistaken, and added a regular season game to the schedule. So they're really eliminated 1 game in the totality of things. Like I said before, I think they believe in their depth. I think they've drafted heavily with athletes that someone pointed out on the chat. And, I think it's a strategic move that's going to pay off, that Flo and Greer are gambling on the quality of their team and their athletes.
Rob says we will take the East 5-1 in the division. So I'm guessing you think that 1 loss is in Buffalo. Rob, I'd like to know what you think that 1 loss is. We're at 54 likes. I need 1 more like. So, hey, what do you got planned for opening weekend, East 32?
I have no idea yet, man. There's a lot of moving parts that we talked about, and a lot of things that still need to come together. But big things are popping for sure. And I'll be ready to announce something probably late July, early August.
Awesome. And where can people find you at? I know where they can find East 32. Where can they find you on social media? Same place?
Cameron 954 on Facebook and Instagram, and Twitter. And I'm pretty active on all 3.
Awesome. All right, guys, I'm still looking for that 1 more like, and I'm going to try to do it while I just go through a couple of things here. Give me 1 more like here, guys. Look, I just want to kind of, guys, tell you about what we have. We have the podcast network, right? So we got amazing shows. What Would Shula Do by Wade O. Wade is actually going to be bringing that show over to our channel on Miami Sports Music YouTube. I want you to remember TD Finns Talk. Make sure you check out TD Finns Talk and Doug for Dougly Do Wrong. Both of those guys, absolutely amazing partners to this wonderful, amazing team. I cannot tell you enough that these 2 guys are so good at what they do, and are also just so giving as well. So of their time and their specialty, and it's just such a good thing. And then obviously my guy all the way on the right is our media director here at Miami Sports Music, Mr. Jamie Bahamas. Love Jamie. Jamie's absolutely amazing. Jamie's been very wrapped up in a lot of work. So I can't wait till that kind of loosens up for him. We can get him on the show more, because we're going to have him on the morning show here too. Also, hopefully this will get a like, because the 1 more like I'm looking for. Allie. If you guys like Allie, if you guys like Dolph Freaky, I need more than 1 more like, but I need at least a 55. Allie's Freak Show, the Freak Show podcast, is going to be coming over to our network here at the end of next month. Allie is in the process of moving, which is why she hasn't done it yet. She closed on the house this week, so she should be moving into it within the next few days. And then once, or sometime next week. So once that kind of happens, she's going to set up the the Woman Cave, the Finn Cave, which is where she's going to do her podcast from. And so I am super excited about Dolph Freaky's new podcast, The Freak Show. It's going to be awesome. Guys, not even one like for Dolph Freaky here. Come on now. Give me my one more like. Give me the 55. The other thing, I also need you guys to go check out this wonderful, amazing show on Onside Radio called For the Fans. For the Fans, Miami sports music for the fans, hosted by me, Stephen D. It is every day from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Onside Radio. Every week we've had people like this gentleman we have had here, who was our very first guest, Mr. Scott Howell. We've also had wonderful, amazing people I had Danny Johnson on. We got that 55, people. I love it. Woo! 55 in the building. All right. I need to get to 80 next time now. 80 on Monday, guys. 56. See, I don't know what y'all are doing. Y'all playing with my emotions. Don't do that. I tried to get to 45. I got to 45. I tried to get to 50. I got to 50. Don't make me go to 60, guys, with 56. I'm trying to get off here. Yeah, make sure you guys go check that out. You guys can actually download this podcast in the audio version everywhere. Podbean, 57 likes, 3 more likes.
Hey, it's worth it, man. I missed my yoga class at 10:30 just to get more likes for you, brother.
See, I love you, Cam. Hey, you know what? I better get we need to get to 60 likes because of you guys. You guys made Cam miss Mrs. Yoga class. So we want to see a tree pose. I'll tell you what, give us a tree pose right now. And I need to get
tree pose, man. It's a bunch of broken branches.
It's a bunch of broken branches. You give me the tree pose, I'm sure we'll get 3 more likes on here. Dude, yeah, make sure you guys go download that. That's an awesome show. I had Danny Johnson on this week. I had John Rex from the Orlando Dolphin Club on Wednesday. And then I had Big E, the NFL Miami Dolphin Fan of the Year on Tuesday. And today is a pre-recorded show from a couple of days ago, but I had my good man, Jason Miller, who's been in the box. He said, man, we're all trying to get off. 3 more likes, and we can all get off around 57 likes. That's awesome. 3 more likes.
Thanks for the shout out, Duke. Appreciate the love.
Thanks, and Stephen. Great show. I want you guys to also remember, too, if you guys want to donate to the show, it helps our channel grow. You guys can go to Super Chat and do that. If you guys also want to go into the description, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link there, too. All that money, all the proceeds that I get from that is going to go directly back into the show. It'll pay for stuff like, all the monthly fees that I pay for like StreamYard and all this kind of stuff that we use, all these special effects. We're trying to grow it. We're trying to expand it. Obviously, with more and more shows coming onto the network, there's more and more things that we're going to need capabilities for. And then we're also going to be doing live streams. So we obviously want to get better equipment through the door. So all that stuff helps us grow. So if you guys want to donate, it would definitely be greatly appreciated and help us out tremendously. Hamlet said, let us see the yoga pose. It'll help us get to 3 likes. We need to see 1 yoga pose. I need 1 yoga pose.
There ain't no yoga pose, Hamlet. You clown.
Hey, you know what? My mission is every time you get up here, I'm gonna get you to give me a yoga pose. That's what I need in life. That's what we need. He's like, Rob, what is your social? Go ahead and give your social again.
Yeah, my personal is Cameron954 on all 3 platforms.
58 likes, 2 more.
And then East 32 Dolphins Tailgate on Instagram and Facebook. East 32 Fins Tailgate on Twitter.
Which brings me to my next point. If you guys look at the bottom right here, see, I'm still doing it wrong. At StephenDSKPL. SKPL stands for Spread Kindness, Positivity, and Love. It is Friday today. You never know what type of week somebody's had or how bad of a week they've had, where they're at mentally. So if you have a friend you have not talked to in a while, or somebody that is that you just unfortunately are out of contact with or out of touch, or maybe it could be somebody at work, or maybe it could be a stranger in the grocery store who you just has that look to them. just go up and say, how are you doing? You know, give them a hug. Let them know it's okay that somebody's there, that somebody cares, because to me, it's all about kindness. And if you spread kindness, that is contagious. And I'm all about spreading kindness. And I feel like that's what we need to do more of in this world. That's why I started the show. One of the reasons is to have an opportunity to have a platform to spread kindness, because that's what I want to do. I want to spread as much kindness as I can to as many Miami fans as I can, because you guys have given me something that makes me feel complete. This show makes me feel complete. Doing stuff for Miami sports music is, I feel like, what I was meant to do in life. And I love you guys. So I want to see this thing grow. I want to see this thing have an opportunity to eventually one day support the family and be able to just put amazing content out every single day for you guys. That's what I want to do. I want to give you guys the best content out there for the best fans in the world. Miami Dolphin fans and Miami fans, Miami Heat, Miami Marlins. Word of mouth says hug a stranger. Stranger danger, my man. Stranger danger, COVID.
Hug with your mask on, brother.
That's right. Look, man, there's never been more of a time in the world we've all needed a hug than now, word of mouth. But I like it. I like it, though. Yes. 2 more likes. Come on, 2 more likes. Also, make sure you guys go follow Solo D. At Solo D305, and then follow Miami Sports Music at Miami Sports Music, or if you're on Twitter at MIA Sports Music. We definitely need to make that happen. We need to spread the likes. Come on, 58 likes. Let's go. 2 more. We need to spread the followers, get the followers up. We got a lot. 60 likes. One of you have to dance. At 60, if we get the 60 likes, well, don't even worry about it. I will dance for 60 likes. I will do some dancing here for 60 likes. Do you think the team should wear throwback uniforms all the time? You know what? That is a great question to end the show with. Let's get something straight. Where's it at? I have skin peeling from sunburn, so just don't judge me. Okay. That right there, in my opinion, is the greatest logo. Okay, it is my favorite logo. I like these logos. Okay, I hate to say this because I know it's going to get a lot of hate, but I don't like the new uniforms. I don't like the new logo. I'll rock it. I'll wear it. You know, it's my team. I'll represent it till I die. But I want them so bad to go back to the old logo. So freaking bad. What about you, man?
I mean, listen, that's what we use on all the swag from Dirty Sportswear. So, we love that logo.
Chef, tell them not to give me 2 more likes so I can dance. I'll be honest. I like the new logo. Hey, look. Hey, I feel like, here's what I think teams do, like Cleveland, I think just redid it again, right? Like, to me, it's a money grab. It's like, hey, come get it. I don't feel like there's any connection with the fan. That's what I love about DWA, right? Where's my DWA? Yeah. You want to know the best part about supporting DWA? Go to Miami Sports Music, get the DWA swag. Make sure you give me 2 more likes so that I can get off the air here and actually go get some rest. I need y'all to realize that DWA doesn't ever get traded. When you go out and spend $150 on a uniform, guess what? That player ends up getting traded, right? It happens a lot lately. DWA never gets traded, so you never have to get rid of the gear. It's always going to be there. Those DWA shorts are fire. Straight fire. So I need you guys to go support the brand. The Miami Sports Music brand. Only the unis are nice. But that new logo is cool too. I want them to bring back the orange jerseys, man. Remember that Monday night game they had against Philly years ago, and they wore those orange ones, and Ricky ran for like a ridiculous amount of yards. I want them to bring back those orange jerseys. That's what I want in my life.
Creamsicle jerseys.
Yeah, and you know what I would love to see? I love those Vice City colors, those pink and blue. Imagine if the Dolphins had Vice City uniforms.
Where's my Vice City lid, man?
I know you're looking for it. 2 more likes, guys. 2 more likes. Let's go. Give me my 2 more.
Oh, you know what? It might be up there. It is. That one right there.
Can people buy that stuff online?
This stuff?
Yeah.
We're working on that. So right now it's only available at the Tailgate, but for this upcoming season, we're going to make it available online.
Maybe you guys should we need to talk behind closed doors, but Miami sports music, I mean, we're kind of a big deal. Maybe you've heard of us. Maybe we need to talk because some of that stuff is fire. I need to wear some of that stuff in my show. So I need you to send me a box in my size.
Hey, you're wearing some right now.
Dude, I got the shirt, man. I need some hats, bro. Like the one that you're wearing is fire. Show me that hat. Yeah, that East 32 is fire, bro. I like it a lot. All right, guys. I guess I'm not getting to my 2 more likes. I guess you guys don't love me enough to give me 60 likes. I guess you don't want to see me dance for you guys.
No yoga pose, no dance. Not today. We'll wait till Monday, right?
That's all right, man. Hey, guys, you have been absolutely amazing. Make sure you guys go follow us, like us on Instagram at MIA Sports Music for Twitter, at Miami Sports Music. Make sure you follow me at StephenDSKPL. We all need to step up our followers and on social media, so that would definitely help us. At Cameron954. Is that Cam or at Cameron?
Cameron954.
At Cameron954, and then obviously at East 32 Tailgate.
Dolphins Tailgate. East 32 Dolphins Tailgate.
All right, awesome. And then make sure you guys check out the show on Monday. I got some surprises for y'all next week. 59 likes. Come on, one more like, and you'll see me dance when we get off.
Mr. 305 for real. Happy birthday, bro.
I'm gonna get the music ready. Because I know you guys are gonna give me that like. I know you guys are. Let me get. Where's YouTube at?
Happy birthday, Mr. 305.
Happy birthday, Miami sports music. Let me get to Tua time. Yeah, I will leave with Tua time. I do like that. And I'll dance a little bit to Tua time. So let me get that.
Yeah, Rob, you're right. We don't want to see no dancing or yoga pose. It goes downhill from here.
It does not go downhill from here, good sir. It does not. Share screen, Chrome tab, Tua time. All right. All right. I'm going to put this off for a second. Let me see where we're at. 59 likes. You give me the 60 likes, we'll do it. Cam, thank you for coming on today. You're absolutely amazing. I love our friendship. It definitely means the world to me. And I just had a good time doing the show with you this morning. I think we need to do it more often because we just had a good time doing it.
Hey, man, I had a ball this morning. I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate all the love and the comments on the side here. And we got a big weekend, man.
60 likes.
60 likes. We got the Heat. We got the Panthers. We got the Marlins at home after a long road trip. A lot of good stuff to talk about next week, brother.
It will be a very good time. So I promised y'all I would dance a little bit. So I'm going to dance a little bit. I'm going to get out of here. Make sure you guys go watch everything. And I love you guys. Here, I'll even put up the screen a little bit for you here. All right. Here, hold on. Let me see where I'm at. There we go.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter.
60 likes, baby.
Been trained to go. Fence for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro.
Tua time.
Time to grind, time to shine.
I love you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. You're the best fans in the world. Miami Sports Music. #1 morning show for the Miami fans. Clap Clackers. I'm your host, Stephen D. With my good man, Cameron Scott from East 32. You guys have been amazing. I love you guys. Y'all have a wonderful day. And peace out and fins up. I'm going to play the rest of this song.
Been patient, now it's time to cash out. No discount. Super Bowl, yeah, we in route. I don't know when, but it's close. I don't want to overhype, but I just know I like it. So excited. D gon' notice now. You should notarize it. They say Tua from that rock. Shout out to Samoa and Islands. Time to lay the smack down. You think he Dwayne Johnson? Time to be the people's champ. Hit him with the people's elbows. Stick together like it's Velcro. You think you could stop us? Hell no. All day I dream about sports. I think I need some Chateau. Custom with some Dolphins colors. Just to let them know we here. Yeah. I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter collar. Whole squad been trained to go. Vince for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time.
To a time, to a time. Really hope he the man. Hope we found us a gem. Like the Heat found Bam. Wanna take time to thank Fitz, cause he put on a show. But the young man up, in the whole city know. Time to catch all the blessings. Cash out on the investment. Ball out, don't choke. Fins want all the smoke. Chris Gregg gave hope. Coach flow like spoke. Dan Marino still a GOAT, but to a man on go. Watch to a man throw. Watch to a man scope. Watch to a man dish shoot that we never ever seen before. Fins up, let it win. Born ready for a ring. Maybe 3, 4, 5, 6. It's damn week, use 10.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter collar. Whole squad been trained to go. Vince for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. AFC, we tryna rap up the East Coast. Take shots, fall back, then reload. Get the powder, time to slap up these foes. Anytime we hit the field, then we must play. Any boys going hard, man, I must say. Try to stay on one route like the busway.